Hey, chat. I wanted I, ugh. I wanted to watch this video last night, but I had already hit the stop streaming button. But now that I've hit the start streaming button, I will be watching this video. And I just wanted to say I feel like I am losing my fucking mind. I really do. I feel like I have fully lost it. I just feel like really bad. I feel really terrible all the time. I don't know.
My
I don't
issue
know how
is
to
that
explain it.
right now,
I'm not
fuck,
making
hold
good
on, give me a second.
choices
Like,
though.
it feels like Trump
Let me mute your
is,
stream. Let me see if I can mute it on YouTube.
yeah, sure. Like, okay,
I can't.
yeah,
Go ahead.
let me know. Okay, yeah. So it
This
feels like
video is
Trump
called
is right here, all right,
yeah, I'm not
and
gonna
this
read
is
the
like the
title.
far right wing, okay, the far right, and then
Mm-hmm.
let's just say the far left is right here,
That's the
okay.
far right.
Right.
That's
Let's
the
just
far.
say that
The left is
this
all right.
is this is the the fucking
The spectrum.
representation of left to right. Okay, now let's just say
Right.
that this is the center.
The
That's the true
political
center, okay?
spectrum. Yeah, yeah.
And then let's just say that around here
A very
is where I am.
reductive
Okay, so I'm
way
like
of
left center,
viewing
okay?
political
Okay, what it
opinions
feels
and
like,
ideologies.
is
Yeah.
that right now the far right wing is over here, right? And then
Right.
I am over here. But if you take the center of that, you're taking the center right here. So you, in my
So you think
interpretation,
I'm in between the
you are right
center
here.
and the right?
Yeah, exactly. Because right now the scale is different, right? Because you're taking the center of the Trump far right versus
Okay.
my left
Okay.
center.
So, what she's describing here is is a real concept, okay? In American politics, and I say this shit all the time, okay? But leftists say this shit all the time. In American politics, our politics are shifted to the right, okay, relative to the rest of the world. So, like, our framing of politics, the issues that we discuss. I know that this is kind of meta, okay, but like that's kind of the point of talking about like politics in this sense with the spectrum and everything. It's meta. Our like the very topics that we discuss in our political like discussions, the very topics that we discuss are indeed shifted to the right. What now? What do I mean by that? Like, what's a real example of this? How about fucking abortion? How about gay rights? Like these are issues that shouldn't even be fucking issues. Like, they shouldn't even be issues in the first fucking place. Okay, but because you have right wing people that like make a big deal out of particular minorities, they're like ruining the country or whatever. Gay people are ruining the country. Brown people are ruining the country. Women are ruining the country by having more rights. Like, this is what I mean when I say our politics are shifted to the right. I'm not saying that they don't have that in other countries outside of the U.S. as well. Like, there are other countries that have their the way they talk about politics is also like inherently right wing. Okay, but there are also countries where they don't do this, where this doesn't happen. And my favorite example, a historic example, okay, not this is a country that isn't around anymore, is the USSR. The USSR, they did not they didn't bother talking about stupid shit like are minorities ruining the country? Is this minority group ruining the country? Is that minority group ruining the country? They just did not talk about shit like that. Like objectively they didn't. It was a meme. It was like one of the first memes ever in general. But that meme was that like Russians would say, and they created like tons of propaganda and like, you know, we would call them memes now. Okay, that's why I call it the first meme. But they would create propaganda about how in the United States they hang black people. They hang black people in the United States. Like, in Russia, racism, first of all, racism just didn't really happen that much, okay? But it also wasn't tolerated at all. Like, if you were a racist person, you could be arrested, you could be sent to a re-education camp, like, you could be re-educated for being racist, okay? That's, like, straight up. Famously, there was an American communist and a black communist, an African American communist in Russia. They were in Russia at the same time, in the USSR. And the white guy refused to eat at the same dinner table as the black guy. And the white guy was arrested and forced to apologize to the black man, okay? Because, like, the idea of, like, being racist was just a foreign concept. It was only something that foreigners did to the Russians' perspective. It just wasn't a fucking thing. And why is that? Like, people are like, why was the USSR like that? Like, why weren't they racist? And it's a legitimate question. Like, we do kind of see white supremacy, white supremacist institutions as like reality. Like, it's just inevitable. It's like the default, you know. So, like, why didn't Russia have it? Well, number one, they have a homogenous population. Like, they're all white. Like, they don't look nobody looks that much different from each other. Like, they just don't. Okay, so that's number one. And that is probably the least of the reason why, okay? Because actually the real reason is that they didn't have chattel slavery. They didn't profit from slavery. And the reason that they didn't have chattel slavery is because they didn't need it. And why did they not need it? Because they had serfs, okay? The average Russian was a peasant until the 20th century, okay? Because the Tsar family kept it that way intentionally, okay? Because, and that's why they didn't have a need for slaves. Maybe if they had treated their constituents like, you know, more reasonably, like real, you know, like not like peasants, like maybe if they had uplifted the working class, then they would have had a need for cheap labor, and they might have done slavery, okay, like in America. But that's not what happened. Instead, the serf system continued until of course, the March Revolution, the October Revolution. Okay, and if you disagree with any of that, then I encourage you to, like, read a fucking book, because, like, you know, some people will be like, oh, like, Russia did have racism in these, like, very specific instances, and, like, yeah, there was some, there were, I'm sure, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there were, like, some racist happenings in Russia, okay, surely. Nobody's perfect. No country is perfect. But my point is that there was a lot less racism in Russia, to the point that it was a fucking meme to, like, say that America, like Russians were, they knew what the position they were in was. Like, they understood that America was on top. America had all the resources. America had all the money. America controlled the world's trade by the 20th century. Russia knew this, and they acknowledged it, and they were like, but you hang black people. Like, you kill black people for just being black. Like, that's it. Anyway.
So obviously you're going to be in the center right. However, what it looks like for you know, the proper far left is like Winter, and Winter is like over here. If you don't know who Winter is, don't worry about it. But like Winter,
I know who it is. I'm an avid Foodshops Winter.
Oh yeah, sure. So I guess the point.
I actually don't know who Winter is. It may be one of her chatters, perhaps. Um, I wonder what an extreme leftist looks like to Foodshops, because I personally identify as an extreme leftist. I call myself a communist, and it's because I am. That's what I believe. Okay, and I understand that I might get black bagged for it. Like, I might get arrested for it. If they can't get enough support to start arresting communists, maybe they'll just fucking do it anyway and make up some shit about me. I don't know. But I do think about that quite often. I was thinking about it today. That's why I bring it up. I shouldn't have even brought it up. It kind of has nothing to do with this. But I'm worried about getting black bagged, okay? I don't want to go to El Salvador. I certainly don't want to go to fucking Germany, which is probably the only other place they could send me. Because I speak the language. But if I go to Germany, they'll arrest me immediately for being anti-Israel. Because that's, actually a crime there. It's crazy. It's ironic, actually. On multiple levels, it's ironic. But anyway, that probably won't happen. Probably. Oh yeah, anyway, what is an extreme leftist to Foodshops? I don't know. Probably, a militant leftist, probably like a tanky, right? Or what they would call a tanky, whatever. I don't know. I don't think that tankies are wrong. I don't even think they're wrong. I don't personally call myself a tanky. I'm not a very, militant leftist. I just, but I would say that I'm on the far end of the spectrum. But still, like I said before, though, the spectrum is incredibly reductive. Even more so than the fucking compass. And the compass is reductive, too. Okay, anyway, let's keep watching.
The point is that, yeah, this is why you seem kind of center-right to me. Does that make sense? I don't even know if we have a disagreement in the first place.
Center-right?
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying, and mathematically going through what I say and what.
Look, you should not start a debate like this. Obviously, you should not try to box in your opponent to an ideology, let alone a vague pinpoint on a fucking antiquated and reductive spectrum, political spectrum. Okay, it's fucking stupid. This is a stupid way to start a debate. Just pick a topic and start debating, okay? Fucking get to it.
But
God damn.
I can see why you would think that. But
Is
you're
this
saying
sped
that
up?
I'm right-wing center because I call him Asmo Papa. You do realize I'm in other people's chats saying, well, I don't call you Foodshops Mama, but you do realize I shit post.
That would be really weird. But yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with other people that shit on you, but I'm also in their chat being like, hey, I'm a Foodshops watcher too. Just because I don't I enjoyed Asmongun before he became political, and I actually kind of hate that he became political because he was a good content creator until he went, full on mask off or whatever you want to say. But I can enjoy his content.
Nah, bro, he's apolitical. He's apolitical. He keeps saying he's apolitical. What do you mean? What do you mean he's political? What, you think he's political because he makes tons of political content? Is that what you think, you fucking idiot? Nah, he said he's apolitical, bro.
Same thing with you. I enjoy your content. I don't agree with everything you say, but at the same time, I do agree with some of the things you say, and I do find that your chat is one of those places where I can go shit post and then also have a serious conversation and, not feel like I'm being alienated for having a different opinion. Does that make sense?
Sure, that's fine, right? Because, well, the problem here is everybody has some degree of agreement with everybody, right?
I don't understand what he means by alienated. What is alienation to you? Because I feel like if you come into this person's chat, Foodshops, and everybody disagrees with you about whatever, because you're like, oh, I actually think racism is bad and we shouldn't be fucking racist. And then everybody's like, shut the fuck up! You're wrong, you're stupid. Okay, I feel like that is alienation. I feel like it is. Like, what I'm saying is, simply everybody disagreeing with you is alienation. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong to be alienated. Okay, or to feel alienated, especially in this person's chat. Okay, but that's what it is. What's the difference? Where would you go where this would happen and you wouldn't feel alienated? To me personally, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't care where I go. Yeah, I prefer to feel alienated. I prefer feeling like everybody disagrees with me. Because it first of all, I'm a content creator. Okay, it puts me in the spotlight. Like when I'm the one with the different opinion, then I'm the one with the different opinion. Okay, I'm in the spotlight. Okay, that's how it works. So then it's my time. It's my time to shine. In that situation. That's why I do this. That's why I go into different people's chats and I talk to them, and I do it because I want to have a real discussion. Okay, I'm not saying, I know that people are going to take this clip and they're going to be like, he's a clout chaser. He's clout chasing. He's clout chasing. That's what they always fucking say. I'm not clout chasing. Okay, I am intentionally going to people that don't share the same opinion as me, and I'm giving them my opinion, and I'm telling them why. Okay, in an effort to bridge the gap and bring some kind of understanding from my side of a particular topic to theirs, or even better, to convince them that what I think is true and that they should think they should think it too. And at the same time, I'm a person that I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, I've been wrong before about politics, certainly, and I do listen to people, and I am capable of critically thinking about things and coming to the conclusion that maybe I was wrong about something. I can do that. I've done that before. So it's not like this is completely a one-sided transaction. I do listen to others, even when I feel like even when they're being uncharitable to me, I still listen to them. It's actually kind of fucking insane that I do that, but I would hope that somebody would do the same for me. So that's why.
Right? Even a far left person agrees with some principles of a far right person. But that doesn't mean that far left person is going to be centrist, right? But you describe yourself as a centrist, but then, obviously you agree with principles on the left and on the right too.
I'm sorry.
Does that make sense?
Sure, that's fine, right? Because, the problem here is everybody has some degree of agreement with everybody, right? Even a far left person agrees with some principles of a far right person. But that doesn't mean that far left person is going to be centrist, right? But
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I think if you get somebody on the far end of this spectrum, somebody that you could categorize as being far right, and you take somebody that's far left, I don't think they're going to agree on anything at all. When it comes to politics, they're not. Okay, they're just not. What the fuck would they agree on? About society, about politics, about the economy, about minorities, what the fuck would they agree on? I can't think of a single fucking thing. I'm racking my brain right now. What would a far right person and a far left person agree on? That's why I look, yes, most Americans will agree with each other on most things. Most people will agree with each other on most political topics. Okay, of course they will. Most people are fence sitters. Most people are centrists. They flip-flop. Okay, they do. Most people are not extremists. Okay, that's why we say Americans will agree with each other, whether they're Republican or Democrat. Republicans and Democrats, if they just fucking talk to each other, they will find a lot of common ground. But a communist and a Nazi talking to each other? Yeah, no, we're not. I'm not getting it. I won't get anywhere talking to a Nazi. I know that. I know that already. If I'm like talking to a neo-Nazi, I'm not trying to convince. First of all, this is why I don't talk to Nazis, okay? I don't talk to literal white supremacists, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't even talk to them even if you're not a content creator, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because you can't help them. You can't. It's so Jover. It's like there's nothing. There is a way to help them, but our society is not equipped to do it. It's just not. The real way to help them is to arrest them and send them to a school, a university, okay? Send them to a re-education camp, whatever you want to call it. Okay, send them somewhere where they can learn, they can become educated. You re-educate them. That's what you do with a Nazi, with a very racist person. That's all you can do. And it still might not work, but that is the only way. As a leftist, there is nothing you can do. Just don't talk to them. The only other use case for talking to a Nazi is to make content, is to make it a spectacle. And I think that that's wrong. I don't agree with that. And I do not see Foodshops as a... I know I've used inflammatory language. I don't see her as like a neo-Nazi. I don't see her as so far gone. And I don't see her community as that way either. Certainly not a majority of it. I think most of them are probably normies, realistically. They're probably just like normal people that like edgy humor, that are like somewhat left-leaning. I think that's her audience. That's like her viewers. And I want to... That's the reason I want to talk to Foodshops. I want to talk to these people. I want them to hear me. I'll debate. I'll do a debate. I'll do a conversation. I'll do whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay, whatever you want to do. Okay, we'll debate. I'm a debater.
Anyway,
let's
centrist,
let's
but
keep
then,
going.
you know, obviously you agree with principles on the left and on the right. To me, a better way of measuring this kind of stuff isn't whether or not you agree or disagree with some principles on the left or right, but the proportionality of it, right? The magnitude of it, right? And what it seems like to me is like, again, it does seem like the proportion in which what you support in chat versus not in chat, it does seem like, I don't know, like it does seem as though like, yeah, you are more conservative leaning, right? Like, yeah.
I don't believe so. Like for example, one of my biggest stances is like I'm pro-trans and I'm pro-choice, right? Mm-hmm. That is literally like the holy anti-grail of the rep, right? They want to eradicate that, right? Like right now I'm in Texas, and I don't know if you saw the story of the police officers looking for a woman that, you know, she was about to die, so she had to like do a self-abortion on herself, but because she escaped Texas is using the, you know, those speedometer cameras to track her down. So they're not only using the ones in Texas, but they're using the ones in the entire country, and they don't need a reason to do so. And I feel like women should be able to like not fear for their life, you know, if they have to have an abortion.
Yeah, what a leftist perspective that is. Yeah. Unironically, it's sad that is like what the left is. Like the left in our country is just like, hey, like I don't think that we should imprison women for getting a medical procedure because she talked to her doctor and came to the conclusion that that's what was best for her. Like, I don't think we should do that. Like, how fucked up is that? That's the left. Like, that makes this person that she's talking to, unironically, like, if he believes those things, yeah, he's a leftist. In this country. In this country, he is. Okay, now, would he, in a different society, would he be a leftist? I would say maybe not, but probably not even. But I don't know. I also don't know anything else about what this guy thinks.
And then they get denied the treatment. So now not only is the baby going to die, but also her. So in the Republicans' eyes, it's like you can't kill babies, but if you're going to die, that means your baby's also going to die. So then it's okay when both of you die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but the fact that you even bring this up as an example in the first place shows that your compass, your political compass, is already incredibly warped, right? And I think this actually serves as a really good example for my what I drew on MS Paint, right? Because it shows that, okay, it turns out persecuting people to the ends of the earth for an abortion is too extreme for you. Well, that's kind of a given in civilized countries, right? Hopefully we wouldn't be pursuing women like criminals right? If they ever decide to get an abortion. But to you, it's too extreme. And I understand that. But in a normal civilized country, in Europe or anywhere else, that shouldn't be an issue to the point where you're like really going crazy, right? Like, does that make sense?
And I understand that. But the sad reality of things is the time that we live in, right? Like you're right. In a perfect world, this shouldn't happen. But it's the world that we live in. And like, for me to agree with like, oh yeah, I agree with this just because it's, you know, like right wing or whatever. No, I don't.
I wanna hear this guy's perspective on immigration. That's what I want to hear. Yo, I want to hear his perspective on Israel. Let's hear that. I'm sure that we'll get to that. You know, if I had to guess, like there is some reason that they're trying to call this guy right wing, and he is an Asmongold watcher. So, yeah, it's probably because of like immigration, and that's probably it. That's literally probably it. Maybe he like, I know he said he's like a trans ally or whatever, but maybe he like said some shit about trans people in sports or some dumb shit like that. Maybe that's why they think he's right wing. But that being said, like, again, it's sad, but like a person that is like this in this country is like unironically a leftist. Like, he is. And I'm not going to try to shut him out of that just because he has a couple bigoted opinions about things he probably doesn't know about very well, because he's a fucking Asmongold watcher, and he's just a normal person. This guy seems like just a normie. He's just a normie. Okay, he doesn't know about all this like political slop. He doesn't consume all this like politics content, but he does see the cruelty of the Republican Party, and he's like, ew, that's gross. And yeah, like you and most other Americans. And so then why are there so many normies that vote Republican? Because they get them on like 1 or 2 or 3 fringe issues. Or not even fringe issues, but like, you know, they get them on like immigration, they get them on trans people are gross, like one of those things. Anyway, let's
do not agree. Like I honestly believe, from the bottom of my heart, you truly believe that politicians have your best interest at heart, left or right. Like, you're not really looking at the big picture. Like, look at veterans, for example. Like, we fought and we were promised that people would take care of us, right, after we came back from the war. I'm wounded, right? So, like, I got to retire early and shit. But I have many friends that, you know, were denied treatment. I had a friend who was suicidal, and he went into the VA, and he pretty much threw himself in there and said, like, hey, I can't be by my own, I need help. A week later, he was kicked out because the VA said that his claims, like, his disability claims weren't high enough to like pay for his treatment, so he had to pay out of pocket. And since he was broke, they were like, you know what, shit out of luck. And that was during the Obama administration, right? So like, if left and right are willing to turn their backs on the people that fought for them, what makes you think that they care about the regular civilians? Like, you really
hold on. I got to time out Schlabbers for spamming the chat. Give me a second. Okay, all right. Sorry, yeah, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. Go.
No, you're good. So you see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I stand on. I believe that neither left or right really care about you. Like, they're just telling you what you want to hear in order to get your vote. Like, look at all the, like, what, like, I know I've said this before, and I was talking with Corey about this. Like, like, you can tell me you're outraged by Trump's crimes, but then it's okay to turn a blind eye when the son of the president does it and gets pardoned for it. Like, you can tell me you have principles,
okay,
but you're willing to turn a blind eye.
Yeah, sure. So Hunter Biden is a different topic, but let's talk about...
He is a different topic, and he wasn't the fucking president. That's the difference. Like, yeah, he was the president's son. Okay, that's different from being the president. Okay, like, if Hunter Biden were the fucking president, then it would make a lot more sense to, you know, put the magnifying glass up. You know, put on your magnifying glass and take a closer look. But it was just the Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden's penis. That shit was weird. Okay, that was weird. Why are we doing that? Okay, and also, there was, like, so much shit you could criticize Biden on. So, he was a walking corpse. He still is. He was a reanimated corpse. I don't know what they were doing to his body to make it do that. But, like, somehow they were making him walk and talk. And it was crazy. And, like, people were talking about that. But people were muddying the waters by talking about his fucking son. Or whatever the fuck his son was doing. Like, yeah, his son was, like, doing coke, okay? That, like, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Everybody in DC is doing coke. It's fucking DC. Let's keep going.
About the veterans part first, okay? Do you think... Okay, so you said that Democrats and Republicans are the same, right? That's what you said?
They're equally bad, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, do you think that they treat veterans the same?
I think they both treat them equally shit. I know,
the same.
I know, like for example, I know during the Biden administration they tried to do more, but still, a lot of veterans didn't get the care that they were promised. Like, it's one thing to say,
that's okay. Okay, wait, hold on. So
I'll die on that hill. I would argue with a veteran about it. Democrats do treat veterans better.
Recently, Trump
of course they do.
Fired 60,000
They still treat them like shit, but like,
now, sure. Now, I have no doubt that you would agree that that's bad, right? Like, I'm not.
And by the way, that's not just true with veterans. That's true with like any group in general. Like, Republicans are just evil. They're outwardly evil. They're at this point they're just like, look at how evil we are. Like, we're the evil party. And like, generally that's just how it goes with any issue. What are they calling it now? Hate signaling. It's like virtue signaling, but instead you're like bigotry signaling. Yeah.
However, do you think that Biden would also fire 60,000
they're outwardly
people
hateful now.
No, but a lot of those people were not doing their job. But I don't agree with Trump firing them. I think that something should have been done.
No, they weren't doing their job. That's why. Yeah, and that's why it's gonna help veterans. Yep, it's gonna help veterans to do that. Why weren't they doing their job? Why do people not do their job in this country? I wonder. Could it be because every day we face we are brutalized, we are like fucked over by our corporate overlords, by the government, by rich people in general, the government and our corporate overlords? Yeah, I think that's why people don't fucking do their job, man. And so the solution isn't to fire them, it's to pay them more. It's the opposite. When somebody stops doing their job, when they quiet quit, the immediate response should be you get a raise. Not, go find another job to work hard at for the first month and then quiet quit after that when you realize that nobody gives a fuck how much work you put in. Nobody gives a fuck about you. That's how it goes. Okay, that's why people don't work in this country, because they don't fucking care, because the government doesn't care about them.
But you're right. Trump wouldn't have fired him.
No, they were
still
doing
that
jobs.
Hold
on. The information that you have is incorrect. A lot of them were doing their jobs, and a lot of people who were fired or laid off could be testified for their directors. Like, their directors could say, yeah, they have worked extremely hard in that department.
Even if they weren't doing their job,
and a lot of people who work. A lot of people who work in veteran affairs are also veterans. Like, they are also people who have served like you, right? So the thing is sure, you also agree that Biden wouldn't also be laying off like 60,000 veteran affairs personnel, right? However, like, I think that goes to illustrate how they're not the same, right? Because if you are laying off 60,000 people in which you're not actually going through in time to actually prove...
Yeah, how can you look at an institution like the VA and you are... Imagine you're a veteran and you're looking at the VA and you're looking at how it's understaffed and the workers that are there are overworked and underpaid. So it's not only understaffed, but the workers are overworked and underpaid. And then you, in your infinite wisdom, come to the conclusion that it was their fault for getting fired because they weren't doing their jobs good enough or whatever. They weren't doing them at all. They were just collecting a fucking paycheck. This is why people say, and I'm not saying this is why people say you deserve this. Okay, do you understand? Like, you need to stop being so fucking brain dead. Please, man. Oh my God.
That they are doing a bad job.
Like,
right?
It's great. It's great that you care about trans people. Awesome. It's great that you care about abortions, women getting abortions. Perfect. We love that. Okay, but like, come on, 6,000 VA employees deserve to get fired, and you say that as a veteran. Are you fucking serious?
To in order to vet who is actually doing a good job or bad job, 60,000, and you already say that your friend is having a lot of trouble trying to get benefits, right? I just don't see how cutting out 60,000 people is a good thing for
it
the
was
department,
60?
right? And by the way, I just wait, hold on.
I don't think it was 60.
And I just want to say real quick, okay? When you repeated the line, when you repeated the
60,000?
very specific line of how, oh, and they were found
Holy
to not be
shit,
doing
we
the
are
job,
so
you
cooked.
realize that is a Trump propaganda line, right? Like that is a right-wing propaganda line.
You didn't let me finish. Like,
Oh,
what I
that's
was
okay.
saying is
Hold on.
Let him finish.
Listen, I think
Yeah,
it's fair
let him
because
finish.
I let you talk, so but
Let's
your
hear
turn.
him.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is that when I say they're not doing their jobs, it's like you realize I've been in the military since the Obama administration.
Okay.
We were getting our claims denied since then because people weren't doing their jobs. That's what I mean. I don't mean that they were like not working. Like their job is to help us, and they weren't doing that when they were working.
Okay. So
That's
They
what I mean.
are working
question-
within the system. Like it's not. I know it's easy to feel like it's the low-level workers that are fucking you over, but it's not. It's the way the system is set up. Okay, these like lower-level employees that were laid off that weren't doing their jobs. Oh yeah, they were just denying claims left and right because they fucking felt like it, because they didn't want to do their jobs. That's why they were denying. Yeah, man, I'm sure that's the reality. I'm sure that's actually what was happening. Yeah. It had nothing to do with them not being able to handle the volume of cases and being underpaid and also understaffed, and also the higher ups were telling them to not approve as many. I don't know. It's probably because they were just lazy and evil. Probably just because they're evil and lazy,
is this.
right?
How do you know? So, what was the reason why
they're lazy,
what
and
was
they
the
just didn't
specific
wanna
reason?
work.
What was the specific reason that your
Because
body got
when
cut?
you retire from the military, you get these things called ratings. Depending on
So
your rating
bright.
disability, right? Is how much you get.
Get those
when you
lights
get out,
off.
and how
Get
much
those
the
lights
military
off.
pays for your medical bills and things like that. So because my friend wasn't high enough on his ratings, they were like, "We can pay for this for you. You have to pay out of pocket," even though he was promised the treatment when he got out.
Okay. So my question to you is then, how would cutting out 60,000 people improve that situation? Because what that sounds like is
True.
It wouldn't.
Right,
That's a
this
good
sounds like a
question.
policy issue, right? Like more than anything else. But you said that they weren't doing their jobs. But what it sounds like is that
Yeah, they
like,
weren't helping the veterans. Like even if they still had their job, my friend would have still like.
Their job isn't just to help veterans, and that's it. Help veterans by any means necessary. Are you fucking serious? That's not what the fucking job description says, man. Their job is to be bureaucrats, they're pencil pushers. Okay, that's what they do. It's not to help veterans or anything like that. Okay, like yes, their goal should be to help veterans. That's what the VA exists for. The people working in the VA though are just supposed to apply the policies. They're supposed to, see cases and reason and use their brain to critically think and analyze, categorize. It's the application of policy. That what I'm saying is that denial of claims is not indicative that the people at the VA hate veterans, and that's why they're denying them, and they just don't want to do their jobs because they're lazy and they hate veterans. Okay, that's not it. That is such a brain dead fucking thing to think or to try to spin. Okay, that's not what was happening. That's not what was happening. The VA sucks because the policies suck. Foodshops is unironically right about this. Which, by the way, I have a feeling that because in this debate, Foodshops is taking the leftist perspective. She's being like woke or whatever. I'm probably gonna agree with her on she's probably gonna be level-headed, mostly, in this debate. But yeah, she is right about that. Of course, laying off a bunch of VA employees isn't gonna help the claim approval process. Actually, it's probably just gonna make it a lot worse, unsurprisingly. But hey, at least they just fired the people that deserved it, right? They deserved it because they were lazy.
Got those denied.
At least that's
you know what I'm saying.
happened.
I don't believe having people that have left values or right values is going to change anything. Everybody's looking out for themselves. Shops. That's my point. I genuinely don't believe politicians have your best interest at heart. They do all of these things behind.
I have something to say about that. I agree with him 100%, more like 98% probably. Yes, Republicans and Democrats, they don't want to help you. Of course they don't. That is very apparent to every American, I think. Of course they don't want to fucking help you. Of course they only want to help themselves and like enrich themselves and their friends. Okay? That is not left or right. Okay? That is just right wing. Everybody's right wing. Democrats are right wing. They are objectively. They don't even uphold liberal values. And liberalism is a right wing ideology. Do you understand? Like, they don't give a fuck about anybody. They want us all to, like, be dead, I think, or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they want. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, because what I'm trying to figure out is if they're, like, going to try to do the final solution on Americans, okay? Like, unironically. Because, like, I think at the end of the day, they only care about Americans as long as we're useful. And I think lately, we haven't been as useful to them. Okay, because this is after decades of cruelty and brutalization of the American public. And, like, we've ended up here. Now we're here. Now we're all suffering. Now we're all suffering so much that it is inescapably obvious. It is undeniable. Like, you can't just say anymore, like, oh yeah, like, we're suffering, sure, but, like, we're still on top. We're still, like, the best country. We're still, like, we got all the resources. We got all the money. Like, nah, you can't just say that shit anymore. It's not a good enough argument. So, I don't know. I don't know if they'll genocide us. I hope that I'm spared in the AI uprising. That's
behind our
what I
back, and we
got
find
to
out
say
years
about
later.
that.
And people that agree with the right will try to do mental gymnastics to cover for them, and people that agree with the left will do mental gymnastics to justify why it was okay. That is my point. That's why I don't think that supporting the left or right is going to make a difference. When, if you're willing to turn a blind eye to your morals.
See, he is operating under the assumption that Democrats are left. Democrats are not left. They're not lefty. They're not left-wing politics. They don't have any left-wing politics. They have literally none at this point. Okay, maybe in the past you could argue that, because, like, Democrats, they were, we were like, oh, we're going to do free health care. We're going to do, like, we're going to tax the rich. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I don't give a fuck about that shit anymore. Another thing that they said is, immigrants are our friends. Yeah, that's out the fucking window now, too. Yeah, they fucking hate immigrants just as much as Republicans now. What a shocking reveal that is. What a shocking turn of events. Yeah, Democrats are not left-wing, bruh. They are more left-wing than right-wing people, but every day that becomes less clear, less distinct. Okay? Literally, Kamala, on the campaign trail, said, we're gonna deport, we're gonna make the border stronger, we're gonna have the most lethal military. How is any of that less right-wing than Donald Trump? How is any of that more left-wing than Donald Trump? No, man. They're all like that. They're all just like, they're wolves in sheep's clothing, okay? All Democrats, all Republicans, all of them. It's one party. One party. With the illusion of two parties. It's Democrats and Republicans are the same thing. They are the same party. And Americans are finally starting to say this. I've been saying this shit for, not publicly, not on the internet, but I have been saying this for many, many years at this point. Since I was a child, I recognize this shit. Okay? Yeah, Republicans, Democrats, they do the same thing when they get in office. They shake your hand with a smile, and then they stab you in the back. Anyway.
In order to achieve something, that tells me you're not worth siding with.
I'll be right back. I'm still listening.
Mm-hmm. But my issue here is that I don't think I'm doing any mental gymnastics whatsoever. What part of it is doing mental gymnastics?
Like, for example, saying that, oh, like, well, the people were, like, so offended by Trump doing all these things, right? And they wanted to like him face jail time and all this other stuff. But people were like, oh well, it's okay for Biden to pardon his son because that's his son. It's like, no, he's guilty of the same crimes. Both should be scrutinized the same. Both should face the same repercussions. I think if Trump is guilty of his crimes, he should pay for it. If Hunter is guilty of his crimes,
Sure,
he should
sure.
pay for it.
Okay.
There should not
All right,
be
all right, all right. Yeah. Okay. So, you're moving on to the Hunter Biden topic, right? Are we moving on from the VA stuff? Because so for the VA, so the VA stuff. Okay, I just want to say, all right, like if you can't.
All right, I paused it because I wanted to say that it is actually crazy to say that what Hunter Biden did is like equivalent to what Trump has done. Are you fucking serious? Trump is a convicted rapist, alleged pedophile, fascist dictator. In my opinion, he's a fascist dictator. Okay, he's definitely a rapist and definitely a sex pest. Which is it's just weird that he's in the highest office. Okay, I know. Hunter Biden's penis, Hunter Biden cocaine. Okay, whatever. It's not the same. Do you think Trump hasn't done cocaine? Are you fucking kidding me? The yuppie from New Jersey? You're telling me he didn't do cocaine? Yeah, that motherfucker probably did a lot of cocaine. Probably snorted a lot of that shit when he was younger. Okay, who knows what the fuck he's on now? Honestly, I think the man is stone cold sober, okay? I think he's on his heart medication, and that's probably it. Let's keep going.
If you can't see that firing 60,000, because your words contradict yourself, okay? Does that make sense? Because you said specifically, oh, they are both equally as bad for veterans, right? Is that what you claimed?
Yes.
Yeah, and meanwhile you condemn.
They were in their job, and then when they got fired,
right, okay, yeah, and you also recognize. Actually, sure. Sorry, I retract the part where you contradict yourself. Okay, I'm just gonna say you're unreasonable. Okay, because you also acknowledge that. Yeah, because what does that mean? Okay, but like let's just say that Trump. All right, let's just say that Trump actually did get rid of.
Wait, where did he contradict himself? I'm not necessarily like disagreeing. I didn't catch it. Wait, how did he contradict himself? Was it with the VA thing? Is that what she's talking about?
Actually, sure. Sorry, I retract the part where you contradict yourself. Okay, I'm just gonna say you're unreasonable. Okay, because you also acknowledge that. Yeah, because what does that mean? Okay, but like let's just say that Trump. All right, let's just say that Trump actually did get rid of 60,000 people from Veterans Affairs. Okay, and you also acknowledge that a Democrat wouldn't be doing the same thing. So
I don't think that he obviously contradicted himself. I don't think. What I mean is, I don't think that you could convince him that he contradicted himself. Okay, because like, yeah, some of the shit that he said was stupid and untrue, but like. We're working with alternate facts here, okay? If you want to, like, you just, like, I'm not saying that it's impossible to convince a person like this. This guy, okay, keep in mind, like, I know what I said earlier about Nazis, like, you can't convince them. I meant, like, real hardcore Nazis, okay? I mean, like, real, and it's important to be able to recognize them when they appear, because a lot of times they will try to appear like this guy, like a normie. Okay, they will disguise themselves. But still, I don't think this guy is a Nazi. I don't think that a true white supremacist would ever be like pro-trans. I don't think that they would be. Not in this day and age, anyway. And they probably wouldn't be pro-abortion either, but, you know, more likely, I think, than the trans thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's pointless to talk to or debate a guy like this. I don't think it is. You could probably like move the needle a little bit in his mind if you're nice enough. Which is why I preach like civility and being civil. Like, genuinely, when I debate someone or have a political conversation with them, I want them to understand me. I want them to agree with me. And the only way you can do that is if you're nice. You need to be nice. You need to be polite. It can be really hard sometimes. It can be hard to be civil. But you have to be. It's you get what you give. You have to be respectful of others, I think. Anyway, let's keep going.
it not be like for a fact that a Democrat would objectively be better for veteran affairs than versus the Trump administration
No,
in
that is
that
my point.
regard?
It was not better jobs. The veterans were still not getting the care they needed when the Democrats had their 60,000 jobs. Is my point. It made no difference.
But you also
It's what I'm
acknowledge that
saying.
Biden acts.
And I
But you also
acknowledge it's wrong that people were kicked out of their jobs. Yeah, like
hold on. But you also acknowledge that at least Biden tried to, you know, improve veterans' lives, right? And I'm pretty sure when I looked up Biden's Wikipedia, I've also found like entries where Biden has in fact supported a lot of initiatives for veterans, 100%. And meanwhile, for Trump's like,
yeah, look, Biden is like on our, and look, I think it's because like if Biden were younger, I don't think he would have been like, I think if he had been more cognizant, he would not have been in favor of these initiatives. I don't think if Biden didn't have handlers, if he didn't have people telling him what to do, I don't think he would have gone to that picket line. You know, I don't think he would have done half the shit he did if he were fully cognizant. Like he had handlers and it was easy to fool him, but like at the end of the day, you can't, if you're a corporate master, if you're a corporate overlord, you can't really like threaten him. Like he won't remember it. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much you can do. So I think that's why Biden wasn't beholden to his corporate overlords. But anyway, it doesn't matter because the reasons as to why he did the things he did don't matter. What matters is what he did, and he was, and that's why I say he is my favorite president that I have ever been alive to see. Like I was born in 2001. And so I've only seen a few presidents in my lifetime. And I think they are all, with the exception of Biden, I think they are all completely despicable. Completely despicable people. Where in any civil society, they would be tried and found guilty of war crimes and immediately executed. Or put in prison for life, or in a re-education camp, okay? Maybe not execution. But all of our presidents, all of them, from the past, like even from before I was born, from the past like 70 years, all of them, prison, every single one of them. Even Jimmy Carter, fuck you. And yeah, even Biden, okay? I'm sure he did some fucked up shit. Okay, I'm just saying he's the most likable one I've seen so far. And I liked Biden. I like him. I wish he was still there. I would rather have him there than, you know, the current shit, the current situation that we got ourselves in.
It's like fucking firing 60,000 people from veteran affairs. Like, there's no conscience, in my opinion, that this is equal. I don't think this is equal, right?
Okay, so because they're not equal in one thing, does that mean, like, my point is when I say they're both equally bad, is like, they both do bad things. I can side with one side saying.
Okay, who would you vote for? Okay, Kamala or Trump. Okay, who did you vote for? Kamala or Trump?
I don't vote. Yeah, I didn't vote for it. When you said that people think that Trump is better than Kamala, they're lying. He's not.
Yo, I found base normie spotted.
And I don't think I didn't vote.
I didn't vote
at all, Chopped. I don't think it makes a difference. I've said this before. I don't believe that the lesser of two evils is a good option.
Okay.
And I don't think that.
Okay, he's a little confused, but he's got spirit. Okay. Lesser of two evils is a failing argument. It is a bad argument. Yeah, that's it. It's not a good argument. Okay, it isn't. Like, saying lesser of two evils, it just, like, it doesn't, first of all, it's not effective for, like, convincing people, and, like, getting them to go out and vote. It's not, it don't work. Okay, but also, it's not pointless. It's not nothing. Okay, your vote does matter. It does. Okay, and like, even though the lesser of two evils is a bad argument, it's not a good argument. It's still valid. Like it is still true. Because the basis of the lesser of two evils argument is that it's better to have the lesser of two evils. And that's true. It like straight up is. Of course it is. Okay, that doesn't mean that the lesser of the two evils is good. It's just better than the other one. Okay, so that isn't to say that, like, oh, you should have gone out and voted for Kamala, you should have done that, choose the lesser of two evils. Like, yeah, obviously she was, and obviously it would be better to have her in office right now, obviously. That's why I voted for her. You know, I'll admit it. But I respect people that chose not to vote, okay? But if you didn't vote and you say that it was because voting would be pointless, I say you're wrong. You are wrong for that. You are objectively wrong. It is not pointless. And that's important. Okay? Because if you had voted and if Kamala had won, we would have the lesser of two evils right now. And that would be better. So, no, it's not fucking pointless. It's just a bad argument because it does not get people out there. It doesn't get them to vote. Okay? It makes people feel hopeless and depressed. when they feel like they have to choose between two terrible options for their country. Yeah, it's like it's not a good motivator, is what I'm saying. But it is true. Anyway, let's keep going.
That is going to change.
I'll be right back.
I'll give you an example. Like I said, I've been in the military since the first Obama administration, and we were getting screwed during the Obama administration. Like when I got out, like they straight up told me I lost hearing on my left earring due to an explosion. And they told me, oh, yeah, by the way, we couldn't get the VA to agree to count that as a military disability. And I'm like, yeah, how else did I lose my fucking hearing? Like, but okay, you can argue that because if you argue your ratings and then you get your ratings redone, there's a chance that they look at something and be like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to take away this too. So you'd rather not take that chance to losing what you already got.
I
so
understand.
I was getting screwed over during the Obama administration.
Look,
then
I
during
understand.
the Trump administration.
Sure.
Sorry, there's a delay. So if I'm talking over you, I don't mean to.
Wait, why is there a delay? Are you watching my stream?
I'm looking at your stream and at
okay, stop looking at my stream. Just listen to my Discord. Just listen. I don't know why you're listening to my stream for the audio.
Because you were teaching me the thingy with the MS Paint thingies. I don't.
Oh my. Okay, stop. Okay, close out the stream. Close out. Just listen to my Discord.
Okay,
oh my god. Okay, Jesus, I didn't know you were doing that entire time. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, all right. Okay, so I just want to say, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So in my opinion, if you really cannot see the fact that Trump was so much worse for the veterans to the point where you're equivocating the two, then there's really nothing else I can say because you're covering your eyes. Does that make sense? You're like covering your eyes. There's like it's so obvious. It's literally so obvious like how big the difference are. You're just ignoring it for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're both equally bad for veterans. Whether Trump, let's use this as an example, whether Trump screwed over 100 veterans and the left screwed over 25, you're still screwing veterans over. I don't think, like, I still see you as the guys that are screwing us over. I don't see you as like, okay, well, this guy only gives me 5 inches instead of 8 inches.
Why? The problem here is that you... Hold on. The problem here is that you haven't actually given me a good reason. You've given me anecdotal evidence, right? Because in my opinion, anecdotal evidence is not enough because anybody can make up anything, all right? From any kind of personal experience, right? So, and number two...
You shouldn't take everything I say at heart because, like, for all you know, I'm probably a girl with a voice changer, right? I get that. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to deny my experience. Like, that is what I live.
Okay,
like,
hold on. Why do you think I'm bringing up policy rather than anecdotal experience?
Because policy, it's a circumstantial evidence that you can actually prove, and what I'm telling you is just my word without like actual evidence.
Okay, policy isn't circumstantial evidence. Okay, policy is direct evidence. It's not circumstantial. It's direct evidence.
Circumstantial evidence. Like undeniable evidence is not circumstantial evidence, or am I retarded?
No,
I think I'm retarded. Aren't I?
It's like the actual.
I thought it was actual evidence.
Stuff. Like,
okay, I thought it meant something else, but yeah, what I meant to say is actual evidence. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Can we move? Okay, so you want to talk about Hunter Biden? No.
Yeah, like the only thing I have to say about that is like people were so appalled by the crimes that Trump was accused of and that he got acquitted for or whatever, right? But when when Biden was accused of the same things, he went to court and all these women came forward and said that he was using his father's image to manipulate him into like doing things for him and he didn't have to pay them. He was doing the same thing and the left is like, oh, well, it's okay that he pardoned him because it's his son. I'm like, I can agree with you on that. Like, you can't say it's wrong for one person to do it, but let the other person go because they agree with your policies. Like, both of them should have faced the law and
you're talking about Hunter Biden, right? You're talking about Hunter Biden.
Yes, he was pardoned by his father, to the same administration that went after Trump for the same crimes. Do you see my point?
Okay, I have one question for you.
Yeah, go for it. No, I will not send nude shots.
Was Hunter Biden ever the president of the United States?
No, he's the son of the president of the United States. He got pardoned by the president of the United States.
Okay, so then the idea of him committing the same crime is ridiculous. Not just because he wasn't the president, okay? Because they committed different fucking crimes. Okay, but also it doesn't fucking matter because yeah, of course Biden fucking pardoned his son, okay? Of course he did. Let's not pretend like anybody wouldn't fucking do that if they were the president. Like, that was his son. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's blatant corruption, sure. Okay, whatever. There's a lot of blatant corruption in our fucking government. The fuck are we talking about? Like, I'm just saying, like, the Hunter Biden thing, just, you're not gonna convince me. No Republican is gonna fucking convince me that it's like the most egregious, blatant example of corruption. Okay, like they want you to believe. That's what unironically, that's what all these dipshits, these Republican pundits are spinning. That's what they were spinning for years. Now they've moved on. We're in the Trump admin now. But they still mention it from time to time, I'm sure. But that is what they would have you believe. And it's so brain dead. It's so dumb. Like, yeah, that's the most blatant fucking example of corruption in the history of our society. I don't think so. I just don't. Let's keep going.
Okay,
I don't think I need to say why.
The equivalency between Hunter Biden and Donald Trump in this instance is part of the problem, isn't it? Like this is why I think you're more right-leaning. You're not centrist.
Yeah. So for saying that...
It's not equivalent. It's not the same thing. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. Donald Trump, number one, was the president. Okay, and that alone, as many liberals like to point that out to, like, highlight the difference between the two. Yeah, that is a pretty major fucking difference. Donald Trump is the fucking president. And was. Okay, Hunter Biden was the president's son, but, like, okay, he wasn't the fucking president. Who cares? Who cares? Like there are so many other politicians in D.C. that are doing coke, that are, like, breaking the law. Like, why do we care about Hunter Biden? Why the fuck do we care? He's just the president's son. Like, he's not even an elected representative. He shouldn't be held. He should be held accountable. Okay, he should be held to a standard. But, like, one that's higher than elected representatives for corruption? I don't think so. I don't think he should be held to that. Okay, like, that's why it's so stupid that they hit the Hunter Biden button all the time. Like, they talk about it all the time. They were talking about it on Fox News every day, day in, day out, for months. And it just wasn't necessary, and it was so obvious that it is because Hunter Biden is the son of a Democratic president. Okay, that's it. Fox News is red, Hunter Biden blue, so we must attack. It's stupid. But yeah, but it's actually, I'm both sidesing this shit. It's so dumb to both sides Hunter Biden by comparing him to Trump. It's like
me being right.
Like, okay, so shouldn't we hold both of them accountable? Shouldn't we hold both of them accountable? Right? Like, if that's the argument, if, like, we're gonna say, like, oh, well, Hunter Biden did illegal shit too, and he hasn't been held accountable. Like, so the argument is that we should hold Hunter Biden accountable for his crimes. Okay? And we should hold Donald John Trump accountable for his crimes, right? Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, that's right. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. So stop fucking talking about Hunter Biden. Stop fucking... Why? Why are we still talking about him? He's not. Biden isn't even the fucking president anymore. Why the fuck are we talking about this fucking person? Why? All right, let's keep going.
Wing biased?
This is 100% a right-wing talking point. It's the equivalency of Donald Trump and Hunter Biden. Yes.
So me saying that both of them are bad is me pro right wing. That makes
because
no sense.
Hunter Biden was never the president. Like, what are you talking about?
That's my point, Shots. You can't go after one guy for doing the same crimes that your son did and then be like, yeah, you know what, it's my son, I'm gonna forget him. You know, like, that's not how it works.
So this is all just about Joe Biden being a hypocrite. Because he wanted to help his son. Because he wouldn't hold his son accountable for crimes in the same way that he holds Donald J. Trump, his ideological opponent, held him accountable for crimes. That's the argument. That's like the important distinction that we need to draw here. No, man. It doesn't. Why? It doesn't fucking matter. Like, it just doesn't. Like, Joe Biden wasn't ever going to hold his son accountable for, like, these serious crimes that could have landed him in prison. He was never going to do that. Like, who cares if he's a hypocrite? Who cares if Joe Biden is a hypocrite? Yeah, okay, it makes him a hypocrite. Sure. The fuck does it matter? The fuck does it matter? It means nothing. It means this much to me. Okay, would I still vote for Joe Biden regardless? Yeah, I would. Because he went on the picket line. Because he actually he did initiatives that helped average Americans. Like me. And like you, dumbass.
That is why I don't believe, like, politicians... Like, if you're willing to turn a blind eye to your morals... No, I'm not going to side with you. Like, I think both of you are not worth...
Yeah, Joe Biden didn't allow his son to be imprisoned indefinitely, and that's why I can't support Democrats. That's why I can't do it. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Like, I don't support Democrats either, okay? It's like, I've said this. I said this like 5 seconds ago, okay? I don't support them either. But, like, a person like this doesn't support Democrats for stupid reasons, for dumb reasons, and I'll stand by that. And this person, I agree, is more right-leaning. I think he is more likely to side with, to vote Republican in the future. And that's bad. Okay, that's bad. It's not much worse than voting Democrat, but, like, you know, it's still worse. So anyway, let's keep going.
Yes, but do you think that Joe Biden? Okay, what do you think is a better comparison to Donald Trump if we were to compare crimes?
What do you mean? Well, we're talking about that specific type of crime. He was
okay, hold on. Do you think that it would be better to compare Joe Biden with Donald Trump versus Donald Trump versus Hunter Biden?
Well, I'm just giving you an example why I don't side with them. But no, like, their policies are completely different. But they're both screwing the people over.
Wait. I need to hear the question again.
What do you mean? Well, we're talking about that specific type of crime. He was
okay, hold on. Do you think that it would be better to compare Joe Biden with Donald Trump versus Donald Trump versus Hunter Biden?
Yeah, I don't know why I needed to hear that again. I think I just zoned out for a second. But yeah, that would be a more fair comparison. They're in the same line of work, you know. So there's that. They're both elected representatives in the highest office in the land. So yeah, that would obviously be a more apt comparison. But something tells me that this person on the other end is not going to concede to that. Let's see.
Well, I'm just giving you an example why I don't side with them. But no, like, their policies are completely different. But they're both screwing the people over.
He misunderstood the question.
I'm not going to side with people that openly, you know, screw others over and then be like, oh, well, because you don't screw us over as much, we're okay with you. No.
Okay, who led an insurrection on January 6th?
What do you mean?
Yo, oh my god, dude, I hate liberals. I hate liberals so much. I hate it when they talk about this. I hate it. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares about January 6th. Nobody gives a fuck. Stop fucking talking about it. Oh my god, it was 4.5 years ago. Who cares? No one. That's who. Nobody fucking cares about that shit. And liberals keep fucking hammering it, and it's like it's not working. It's not. Like, nobody cares. It doesn't matter how much you want people to care about it. Okay, they don't. Nobody feels bad for the senators. Oh, they feared for their lives. Oh, they tried to overturn the government. Like, most Americans are like, yeah, good. I'm glad they did that shit. Like, that's the awesomest shit that Trump did, okay? Like, that, unironically, when you bring up January 6th, you are just, like, running through Trump's greatest hits. Okay, that's one of his greatest hits. There are others as well. But, like, by trying to make him look bad, you're actually just making him look good, which is a classic liberal Trump dynamic, okay? But still, that's what you're doing, okay? You don't think you're doing it, but you are. You are, okay? You are making him look better. Nobody fucking likes senators, okay? I don't think Americans want, like, real violence against senators, okay? I don't think so. I don't think if that had happened, even if they did want it, if it had materialized, like, even if Americans did want violence against their representatives, which I don't think they do, okay, not really. If it did actually happen, if it did really materialize, I don't think that when the dust settles, I don't think people would look back on that like, yay, glad that happened. No, I don't think so. But anyway, to say that, like, to take the position where you're just, like, constantly hammering January 6th, it's like, it does not resonate with people. It is not the argument that you think it is. I know what she's gonna say, by the way. I know what she's gonna fucking say about January 6th. She's gonna say, January 6th, Trump bad, Trump worse than Democrats, right? Agree, disagree? And she'll try to get the guy to concede to that, but he never will. Of course he fucking won't. Okay, this guy he's going to do plausible deniability for Trump. He's gonna say, like, oh well, he didn't know it was gonna happen. He didn't know, or like he's gonna be like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about that anyway. I don't care. Like, it just wasn't that big a deal. Like, hardly anyone died. It was just a little riot. Okay, people die every day. People fucking die. Okay, yeah, it is kind of crazy that those motherfuckers killed police officers, attacked police officers, and now they are walking free just 4 years later. That is pretty nutty, okay? That's pretty insane mode. But, yeah, I mean, like, the average people, normies, they don't give a fuck about this. Like, don't talk about January 6th. It's boring. Number one, it's just boring at this point. And number two, it just doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Boring. Stop talking about it.
Okay, wait, fuck. Wait, do you even think January 6th was an insurrection?
Yeah, people going into a building.
Okay, thank God. Oh my God, thank God. Okay, all right, yes.
Yeah, do you really think I'm dumb and stupid?
I would not have clocked him for that. I would not have, like, said that. First of all, I don't know why you would think that he would support that. He seems like a pretty reasonable normie. Okay, and yeah, it was obviously an insurrection. Obviously. They stormed the Capitol. Okay, but anyway, it's just like, that's bad faith to do that. It's bad faith. Maybe, like, the fact that you asked him that is not good. Like, you're not, you have to, when you debate someone, chat, but please listen to me. This is what these fucking dumbass Destiny debaters don't understand, is that if you make a video about someone, if you make content, you can rip into them. You can tear into them, okay? I admit it, I tear into Foodshops. But if I had a debate with her, I'd play nice, and I would try to build repertoire. Is that the word? Not repertoire. Like I would try to build a positive relationship, a positive, like, bond or whatever. Okay, like I'd try to be friends, basically, is what I'm saying. I would try to be likable to her. I would try to be nice and polite. And, you know, even though I have made content that is highly critical of her, maybe she would not be able to see past that. And I get that, you know, I get that. But regardless, you have to be nice to people when you debate them. If you want them to, like, number one, concede, okay? If you want to win, if you want them to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I was wrong about that, you have to be nice to them. Okay, number two, if you want to, and more importantly, this is the most important thing, if you want to convince them of your side, if you want them to be like, oh, actually straight up, like, I was wrong about this, and now you've changed my mind, of course you have to be friendly with them. Okay, so when you say stuff like that, when you say like, oh, did you even think it was an insurrection? Like, yeah, he's a normal, sane person and doesn't think that, then yeah, that's gonna, like, it's not good. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that.
So I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh,
has Joe Biden encouraged like election, like the fact that election was stolen to the point where people just start like burning down the Capitol building?
No, the only incident in the Capitol building was January 6th, and I disagree with that completely. I've been very open about this in chat. I've said if you were caught, you know, destroying and vandalizing that place.
Okay. What has Joe Biden did that was equivalent to January 6th?
What do you mean? Like,
you said they're the same. Like, you said that both sides are the same. So what has Joe Biden did that is equivalent to January 6th? So now they have to do the same
actions in order to be equally evil. You do realize?
No, of the same magnitude. I'm talking about the same magnitude. I'm not even talking about the same action. I'm talking about the same magnitude.
She kind of got him with that one, and you know, I love to see it. Okay, I love to see that. She got him a little bit there. That was a small gotcha moment, but yeah, proportionally, okay, and this is something that you're gonna like hear a lot if you start talking about politics. Of course you're gonna hear the both sides are evil, okay? I fucking say it all the time. I fucking say it. Fucking fly. It's so obvious, it's undeniable, it's like, yeah, both sides are bad, okay, obviously. But proportionally, which one is worse? We can say which one is, they're both bad, we can say that. Okay, but which one is worse? If you say Democrats are worse, you are delusional. You are not living in reality. You are an insane person. Okay, that's not to say Democrats are good. Nobody thinks Democrats are good. Democrats don't think Democrats are good. I swear. Okay, the only people that think that their party is good, generally, are Republicans. Of course they think that. They think that they're the wholesome, traditional, we're like magical fairy tale party. And we're so awesome and righteous. Okay, but the evil left, they think they're the righteous ones. They're on their high horses. Fucking sissy ass liberals. You know, that's how it is, okay? Like, understand that, or, like, you know, be delusional. Understand that or be delusional. That's all I have to say.
I never said that Joe Biden did anything similar to Donald Trump when it came to the January 6th. That makes no sense. I never said that.
So how are they equally as bad again?
Because they're both, screwing the people over. That's my point. It doesn't matter if
they're both doing things that are like bad for people, for their constituents, for Americans. They're both doing bad things for Americans, so they're both equally as bad. No. The important word there is equally. Okay, yes, Democrats are bad. Okay, I'm not gonna keep saying it. I'm not gonna keep saying they're both bad. Okay.
In one way, and the
well,
other
I will, but just not right now.
Doesn't matter if, like, okay, I'm gonna give you this dick sideways. Oh, I'm gonna give you this dick from the back. You're still getting dick in the end. It doesn't matter which position they're giving it to you. It's still dick at the end of the day.
Okay. You know for a fact that's not even, like, your analogy doesn't even work. You realize that, right? Like, getting dick from the front versus in the back.
Nah, that does work. That does work. Okay, which one do you prefer? Yeah, everybody has a preference. Okay, which one's better? Like, I don't know. It's not a perfect analogy because, like, sex positions, like, which one is better? In reality, with politics, okay, one of them is better than the other. Of course, one of them is. But yeah, he's right. Like, either way, you're getting fucked. Let's keep going.
Isn't even the same, but okay. Like, you realize that
still dick at the end of the day. What do you mean? Are you still not getting dicked by the government?
Yeah, he's right about that.
Okay, who made the...
And she's got nothing to say.
Who caused the 10% international tariffs to happen? Who tariffed, like, a fucking island full of penguins? Go.
Anyway, now this.
I literally, like, you're trying to use Trump's things against me. Like, I support those things.
All I want... No, Dio. All I want, literally all I want, is you to name one equivalent thing in magnitude or symbolism of the same thing that Joe Biden has did to Trump in terms of January 6th, or fuck it, or any one of Trump's crimes, okay? Or any one of Trump's crimes, okay? You can't even name one, and you're equivocating the two?
Wait, what do you mean? Yeah. You want me to give you an example?
I think that she's jumping around a lot. She's struggling here because this guy is just like so, like, I think what she's experiencing right now is what I experience when I watch her, like, in this very moment. Because, like, this guy is militantly moderate. Like, he is trying so hard to say no, actually both, I hate both sides, and I hate them equally because they're both equally bad. And she's, like, kind of jumping all over the place, trying to convince him, like, no, they're not, like, equally bad. Like, they're both bad, just not equally. And he's just, like, not having it. And it's very frustrating, I know. But that's how it feels. That's how it feels to argue with someone who is just, like, just constantly trying to find the centrist, the moderate position. Like, me personally, J-Star, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about appearing moderate or centrist. I never will do that. I will never go out of my way to, like, appear more centrist, to, like, you know, like, I want to talk to people from the other side, I want to reach across the aisle, but, like, I'm not gonna do that at the expense of like compromising my beliefs, my morals. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I have my own beliefs, I have my own foundation for those beliefs, and I will stick with them. Okay, I will never, ever just, like, say something to appear more palatable or more, because at the end of the day, it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't make you, being more moderate this day and age doesn't make your opinions more palatable. In the past, you know, kinda, yeah, but these days, nah, like, pick an extreme, bro. Like, you get one. Okay, that's it. The reason that it doesn't work is because you're gonna just end up doing this. Like, you will. You're gonna end up being like, nope, I don't care what you think. Actually, like, it's actually, like, both sides that are bad, and, like, I'm a objective, deep thinker, truth seeker, and it's actually just, like, both sides or whatever. And, like, you will arrive at brain dead takes like this, like zombie level, sleepwalking kind of takes. Okay, but let's keep
January 6th. So, like, them breaking the law and breaking into a Capitol building, like, the only thing I can think of like that was lying about Corona and lying about the vaccine. That is one of, like, the biggest...
Stop. I can't stand it. No, okay, don't talk anymore about the Corona. Okay, oh my god, you just triggered me so hard. Okay, stop talking about that. Okay, hold on.
So, having an opinion, like, I could... So they did not lie about it.
Hold on.
They had an entire congressional hearing about this.
I'm trying to think about this.
They lied to the people, and it's true.
Do you think that there is delicious Mexican food?
Absolutely, I am Mexican.
I think that, look, what I said earlier about the ruling class, like, genociding Americans was sort of a joke. Maybe not so much. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because it is easy to, if you think what I think about that, it is easy to see Corona as that. Okay, but I truly believe that presently, right now, and back then, 4 years ago, when COVID started, the government and the ruling class do still presently have an interest in keeping us alive. Okay, I think that they do. And keeping us healthy. I think that they do, right now. Okay, I don't know how long that'll last, but You know, whatever. I think that's what's happening. Anyway, the idea that COVID was like, that there was like a massive cover up is complete and utter delusion. Okay? Why? Because when you look at mistakes, that governments make mistakes. They do. They make understandable mistakes. They make not so understandable ones. And then they also they do nefarious things as well. They do that. Okay? When it comes to COVID, that's just not what happened. The vaccine mandates weren't an overstep. It's fine. Okay? People need to get vaccinated. That's what saves us. That's what saves our lives. Okay? That's how we don't have that's how we don't have fucking polio anymore, because of vaccines. You can trust vaccines. You can trust them. Are they dangerous? Yes. They can be. They are dangerous. They will kill you. Okay? You still need to take them. Why? Because it's a roll of the dice. And the odds of you dying are 1 in a million. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to me. I could fucking die. I'm still getting the shot. I'm still getting it. Because if it doesn't kill you, it protects you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay? At least when it comes to vaccines. So take your fucking vaccines, man. Just take them. Okay? They're not dangerous. They have to go through all these clinical trials. They have to be sure before they start rolling them out to the public. And then if they roll out a vaccine to the public, and it actually like kills even just a few more people than they expected, then they're gonna roll them back. They're gonna run it back. They're gonna recall them. Okay, like that's how it works. If the deaths from a vaccine exceed expectations, if it's more than 1 in a million, or whatever number they decided, then yeah, they'll run them back. But take your vaccine, okay? It's good. It is good for you, probably, and it is definitely good for society, okay? I'm sorry if you die. Shit, if I die, that sucks. I'm still gonna take it. Okay, I'm still gonna fucking take it.
Do you think that there is delicious...
Just a vaccine.
Do you think that there is delicious Chinese food?
Absolutely.
Do you think from a rating of 1 to 10 that delicious Mexican food can be equal to delicious Chinese food?
It depends on the dish.
Okay, yeah, but it can still happen, right?
This is a good argument.
Okay. So
I'm gonna let her
why
cook.
the hell are you not able to give an example of the same magnitude or the same symbolism or the same way or form of a bad thing that Joe Biden has done to any one of Donald Trump's actions at all?
I tried, you said you were triggered. I tried.
And by the way, and by the way, I just want to say this. Okay, I just want to say this. Even if you're trying to compare pardons, they're not the same, are they? Right? Because when Joe Biden pardoned Hunter Biden, right? Donald Trump was getting paid off for his pardons. They're not even the same. Was Hunter Biden paying?
I didn't say it's his son. What's he gonna do? Make his son pay?
You realize Joe Biden. You realize
that, right? Like
sure, but you realize
with that same line of thinking, do you think he's gonna make his son go to prison? Do you think he's gonna make him go to prison? Like, no, and that's why it's not the fucking same. Like, if you want to say Joe Biden's a criminal for that, for pardoning his son, fine. He's a fucking criminal. Okay, whatever. The president's a criminal. But to say it is the same as Trump's crimes is, it's delusion. Like, even if you're a normie, you should understand this. You should. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe this guy isn't as normie as I thought. I don't know. He does be coming into Foodshops' chat and consuming her content. So, I don't know.
You
but
realize Joe
we'll keep
Biden
watching.
pardoned more than just his son, right?
We're more than halfway through now.
I'm pretty sure he pardoned the people that
should be forced to have the vaccine against their will, even if the vaccine would kill them.
Wait, okay, sorry. Repeat the vaccine point. Just okay.
Okay,
you want to move to the vaccine point. Okay, so what have they done that was as bad? Okay, go.
They hid the information about the corona when it first came out. They didn't want people to know.
Okay. What year? What year did COVID come out?
It started in 2019 when it got leaked from.
Okay, who was president in 2019?
Trump was still president, but then.
I got nothing. I got nothing to say.
Freaking Biden had 4 years to do something about it. He didn't do anything. He still hid it. That's what I'm telling you.
By the way, I don't look. A highly contagious, lethal virus like COVID-19. I don't blame the government for covering it up. I don't think anyone should. Like, I know that it doesn't, like, it's not good. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying I don't blame them for doing it. I don't. Okay, the government wants to maintain hierarchy. Okay, that's what I always say. I'm going somewhere with this. They maintain hierarchy. They maintain the status quo. They keep order. Okay, and if you tell people, hey, there's a highly contagious, lethal virus going around, people are gonna get disorderly. Okay, they're gonna, like, shit's gonna hit the fan. So, yeah, they're gonna hide it. They're also going to, like, as long as they prioritize the health and safety of their constituents, they're going to prioritize a vaccine. Okay? And that vaccine, they're going to try and get it out as fast as possible while still, killing as few people as possible. And look, there's no way around it. People are gonna die when there's a disease, when there's a virus going around. And it's sad. Okay, it's really fucking sad. But it's gonna happen. Okay, it's gonna happen if you don't vaccinate, especially. And it's definitely gonna happen if you do as well. So, it's all about minimizing the casualties, okay? And I know that it feels alien, it feels weird, it feels inhuman to reduce people to numbers like that. But, like, I believe that one, and I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. I believe that all people are equal. One life is equal to another. And so, like, we have to reduce the number. Like, lives are going to be lost. We just need to reduce the number of them. Okay, that's it. In the case of a pandemic. And anyway, yeah, I don't blame the government for doing that. I don't think that they should do that. Okay, like, me personally, if there's, like, a virus going around, like, I want to know about it. Okay, I want to fucking know about it. And I'll be more careful when I find out about it. Like, I'll wear a mask. I'll wash my hands. Okay, so, but anyway, it's not like they, like, I think that they did cover up the severity of it. Yeah, of course they did. Okay, I don't think that they, like, tried to hide the existence of the virus. I don't think that would have been possible anyway, but, like, people knew about it, and as soon as you hear about something like that going around, like a highly contagious virus, and it's making it on the news, yeah, you should start washing your hands, okay? You should. Okay, you should take precautions. You should reduce the time you spend in public. I know it's really hard, okay, but, like, we live in the real world, in the real universe.
Just keep proving my point. Both are equally bad. Both of them were hiding information, and you keep saying that I'm agreeing with one or the other. You keep trying to bring Trump policies to make it seem like, see, you agree with him. You agree with him, Dio. No, I do not.
No, Dio. I specifically asked you something Trump specifically did, but then you brought up.
Yeah, no, that's not what she's doing. She's saying that, like, you're saying that Trump is bad, okay, and you're saying that Biden is bad. You're saying that they are equivalently bad. They're not. They're like, they're just not. They're not the same. Okay, like, quit trying to both sides of this shit. That's what she's saying.
I'm sorry.
And I feel like I would more concisely and like I wish I could talk to this guy. Okay, I'm not saying I could convince him of anything, really. Like, people like this will just fucking, you know, la 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 la, you know, put the shutters over their eyes. But, like, I think I do a better job than her. I personally think that. And, like, it's not just because of like, her failing to to debate and do debate and practice good debate etiquette, it's also because she's a woman. Like, straight up, I think that a person, and she's a trans woman too. I imagine this person probably knows that, this guy. But like, yeah, I think he'd probably be more perceptive and open to listening to a guy like me, even though I am like pretty. I'm not gonna say the word, but I'm pretty like queer coded. You know what I'm saying? I got the dyed hair now and shit. But anyway, I just like, I think that I could maybe get through to this person. I could maybe like I've done it before. Okay, people doubt me. Okay, and I would doubt me if I were watching a streamer and they said what I just said. But like, I think I'm just built different, and I've done it before. I've talked to people like this, and I've gotten through to them. I've like moved the needle. Okay, that's all you can do. But anyway, let's keep going.
No, hold on. Misspeak. Stop. The question that I asked you was, bring up something specifically Biden did that was equivalent to one of Trump's actions, and you mentioned another one of Trump's actions. So I don't even know what the fuck you're talking. That's Trump administration when coronavirus came out.
Yeah, when it started, but then when Biden took over, he still hid the information. He didn't tell people what was happening. And then he forced people to have the vaccine. If not, they would get fired. Only for the vaccine to be like, the vaccine didn't even do anything. People can still get corona vaccine or not.
Okay, I have a question. Who's the person behind?
It's like saying, the flu vaccine doesn't work because it doesn't work a year later. Like, yeah, viruses evolve, they change. Okay, it doesn't mean the vaccine is a dud. It means that the virus fucking changed, and they do that, and. Usually it happens every year, in the case of influenza, it happens once a year, every couple years. But for a lot of these viruses, a lot of these diseases, they hit a wall eventually. Like, they cannot evolve anymore. They cannot develop a new genome to use this unfamiliar genome to attack our bodies. Like, excuse me. After some time, it will run out, and you saw that with COVID. Like, there hasn't been a new vaccine. There hasn't been a spike in cases. Not like a big spike, okay? There have been, people do still get COVID, okay? And it has spiked, but I think it spiked recently, actually. And that's gonna happen, okay? COVID is here to stay. People were saying that back then, and people are still saying it now. Like, you can still get COVID. People still get it. You can always get the latest vaccine if you want it. But because there are so few cases now, because so many people got vaccinated, because there are so few cases now, it's just like not really necessary to get all the COVID vaccines, the boosters, the shit. Okay, that's all the boosters are. It's literally just the updated vaccine. Okay, it's just like, that's it. And I'm not a doctor, okay? I should have said that, first and foremost.
Who is the person behind Operation Warp Speed?
But that's my understanding.
One of the most biggest rollout of vaccines, all right, for coronavirus.
But that's my understanding, though.
Wasn't that Pfizer? Or am I misspeaking?
Okay,
no, bro,
it was the governmental authority who was trying to push out.
It was a fucking.
Yeah, it was right, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump. Trump basically took credit for Operation Warp Speed, and rightfully so, right?
Okay, I'm not saying that Trump is good. I'm clearly saying both are bad. Nobody had to.
No, but the point is that
vaccines are bad. Yeah, vaccines are bad. Yeah, both sides are bad because they did fucking vaccines. This is the shit that we have to work with here in America. This is it. Okay, this is political discourse. Yeah, both sides are bad. Both sides wanted vaccines. That's why both sides are bad. It's just like, it's so. What are we doing? What are we doing? I remember when having an opinion like that, like vaccines are, they cause cancer, they cause autism or whatever. Like, that was a fringe thing. That was, I remember, and I will keep saying it too. I'll keep saying it until the end of time, because I miss those days. I miss when it was like that. I wish we could go back. Okay, that's my conservative viewpoint, like the good old days. That's how I feel. I wish we could go back to that. God damn, like, look, vaccines, they're not safe, okay? They're not. Still, though, our government should encourage us to take them, okay? Take your fucking medicine. You might die, okay? Yeah, you might die when you get in a car, okay? Or you sit in a chair. Or you use a vending machine. Like, you could die from any of that shit. And I'm pretty sure all of those things are more likely to kill you than a vaccine. All right, anyway.
Single thing Biden has specifically done that is the same thing in magnitude as Trump.
So
yes, every single time.
Yeah,
technically,
technically, we never.
If vote eat pussy, but because Trump sucked a dick during January 6th. Okay, let's use that as an example.
Oh my god, man! Please, with the what is up with like like, I was gonna say innuendo. It's not an innuendo. Like, what's up with the like sex stuff in the politics recently? There's been like a lot of it. I feel like a lot of like sexual comparisons to politics. Like, we don't need to make it sexual. We really don't. Like, that's not the way I want to like move the needle to the left. Okay, that's not what we're doing.
He sucked a huge dick.
That's not what I want.
But then he went and ate pussy.
He sucked a huge dick.
And then he ate pussy as a result with Biden. So both ate pussy, but because Trump ate pussy first, Biden should be okay to not be criticized for it.
Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? What? Okay,
You're
what?
responsible for the same
What
thing.
Why do you keep on going to these weird-ass examples? Dio, there are plenty of awesome, good, real-world examples. You don't have to go to these weird, like, eating pussy or taking a dick in the ass examples, okay? There's plenty of real-world... Okay, repeat the pussy point. Maybe you're actually making a good point. Who knows?
Okay,
repeat the pussy point.
Food, right? Let's use the Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with that, I don't know. Maybe he was making a good point. I think probably not, but I wasn't really fucking paying attention because, like, what, like, come on, man, like, pussy eating, dick sucking, like, that's our like political discourse now. That's what we're doing.
Let's use the Chinese food point.
Come on, we're the
Chinese
biggest
food, right?
fucking most rich
food,
nation
right?
on the planet. On the fucking planet. Let's be serious.
Mexican food before Biden, you know, Biden eating Mexican food has no effect on the world. They both ate Mexican food. What I'm trying to say is both had the same response to the coronavirus. Both were bad for the public. That does not mean, like, just because Trump did it first, oh, okay, well, Biden did it after, it's not as bad. No, they both did it.
No. That's
well,
not
he's
an
the president now.
I'll explain why, okay? It's as if Biden...
I agree. It's not the same, okay? I've again, like, we're going in circles here, okay? I know that. But, like, it's not the same. Still, though, like, even if you were to say, like, oh, okay, well, like, they're equally as bad, sure. Okay, fine. I'll concede to that. I actually won't, because, like, I don't think it's true. Okay, I don't. But, like, okay, let's say that they are equally bad. Who's the president right now? Who's the president right at this very moment who is leading our country? Okay, so if he's the president, should we be worrying about what Biden did 6 months ago when he was president, or like, you know, 4 years ago when he was president? Or should we be worried about what the current president is currently doing? The fuck are we talking about? Like, what I'm saying is, there's no point in talking about who's worse, who's the worst party, who has the worst politicians. Like, let's talk about who's currently in power. Okay? That's all I got.
Built, like, fucking improve the kitchen, refurnish the kitchen, and then Trump burned down the kitchen. That's literally the correct analogy there, okay? Not just eating food or whatever the fuck.
That's not a great analogy.
If Trump was in charge first.
Okay, you don't get what I'm talking about. But okay. Like, literally, I'm also talking about Biden to Trump, am I not? I'm also talking about Biden to Trump, am I not?
Like, look, the insurrection, I think she's talking about the insurrection. Maybe not. Maybe that is a fitting analogy if she's not talking about the insurrection. That's why that's what I assumed at first. And I could be wrong for that, actually. Yeah, I mean, Trump has, like, dismantled our civil liberties already in just, you know, a short 150 days, or however many days it's been. I think we're around 150, right? But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Like, Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they're both bad in the response to Corona. That's my point.
That is like burning down the kitchen.
You keep telling me to bring something that is equally as bad. They're both equally as bad in the response.
If she was referring to January 6th, like that, you know, that come on, like when all is said and done, like January 6th, yeah, it was pretty insane. It's pretty crazy that they're walking free now. Okay, but like inconsequential. It really is. Like what the fuck did it do? You're just not going to convince me that it was that important. Okay, I'm sorry. I know it'll be in the history books. I know it'll be remembered forever. Yada yada. Who cares? Like I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Corona. What else do you want?
I'm pretty sure the question that I asked you, okay, and I'm tired of repeating this, by the way, okay? The question I asked you specifically was something as bad as January 6th or any one of Trump's crimes.
How many people died during January 6th, Chops? I answered your questions. Answer my question. How many people died during the January 6th riot?
5 to 20.
Okay. How many people died as a direct response of the negligence of the government during the Corona pandemic?
Millions of people.
Okay, so 5 people dying and millions of people dying, it's not equally as bad. You're right. Okay. It's worse.
Do you think that bad things or bad actions are only measured by how many people are killed?
Where do I start? Like, they're both dumb. They're both so dumb for this. Okay, like the idea that Biden's response to COVID killed millions of people, and Trump killed a measly 5 people, is once again delusional. Trump, his actions have led to the deaths directly of way more than 5 fucking people. Okay, and furthermore, Biden's actions have likely also resulted in the deaths of a lot of people, but I suspect a lot less than Trump. Why? Well, I have a laundry list of reasons, so let's go through them. Okay, Trump, he's not the peace dove that he makes himself out to be. Okay, he never has been, he never was. He bombed Yemen, he sent more funds to Israel, he let Israel do whatever the fuck they want. Okay, that resulted in a ton of deaths. Okay, not American, so who cares? Okay, fine, whatever. Trump's tax cuts for the rich, letting billionaires do whatever the fuck they want. Like, particularly the healthcare industry went kind of wild under Trump. Okay, denials, fucking claim denials. Yeah, I think a lot of people died because of Trump's legislation, but it's harder to pinpoint an exact number. Okay, because of what? Because of something called, in economics they call it opportunity cost, but basically you can't know how many people died because of Trump, because you don't know how many would have died regardless. You understand? Like that's kind of what opportunity cost is in economics. It's not a perfect analogy, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. When it comes to policy and legislation, oftentimes it is impossible to know who died because of what. Okay, I still think that Trump is a lot more brutal and cruel than Biden could have ever dreamed of being, even when he was like of non-dementia ridden cognizance. I think that under Biden, we had some we had higher taxes for the rich. They pushed for that. We had the union deal with the trains. We had the union deal with the longshoremen. And he went on a fucking picket line. Like, and there was the automotive union as well. We had that deal. Okay, like, under Biden, there were some big wins for workers. And there were some small wins, too. Okay, some not so big wins. But still, like, union demands were met. And that is important. That, like, lots of union demands were met, is what I'm saying. So the idea, all that is to say, is that the idea that Trump caused less harm, or Biden caused equally as much harm to the American people as Trump, is delusional. All capital letters. And we're back once again. Yeah, it may go out again. I don't know. I may have to end the stream because of this. It was storming earlier, but it's not storming now, so I don't really know why my internet's going out. I'm assuming it's because some technicians are working on it. They're out there, they're turning it off and on again, maybe like one of the neighbors down the street, their internet is out and they're trying to see if turning it off and on again makes it work again. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Let's see if the stream is back up. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, it's back up on Twitch's end.
Why we fixate on the Bosnian genocide
let's
so much
continue with the video before my internet craps out
Bosnian
again.
genocide was so malicious and evil. Just like how planning out the January 6th and everything that went down was so malicious and evil. Yes, even though 5 people technically died, even though 20 people technically died compared to coronavirus, the reason why that was so fixated so much was because the very action of it, the very planning of it, the very meticulous, like everything about it was just way worse in terms of like the purpose, the motivations behind.
Yeah, and like that is important. Okay, what happened with COVID-19, like, nobody wanted COVID to get out of hand. Nobody wanted more Americans to die. I don't think so. Okay, I think if you think that, you're kind of crazy. Okay, like, yeah, it makes sense to not trust the government, whatever. I think to say that they want us to die right now is a bit too far. Okay, but anyway, the idea that what she's saying is true, okay, is what I'm saying. Like, obviously an insurrection is intentional. It's planned. It happens intentionally. Okay, but you can say that COVID-19 was a shit show, and I would agree, but probably not for the same reasons as you if you say that. Okay, I think it was a shit show because people weren't taking their fucking vaccine. Because of a lot of misinformation. A lot of propaganda. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that was like, and that was intentional too, but that was right-wing propaganda, okay? So like, and it was on the other end of what he's saying. Like even if you were to assume that like the government fucked up and like did a whoopsie with COVID, like at least that was a whoopsie. At least it wasn't intentional. At least they weren't intentionally trying to kill us. Okay, that's it. Let's keep going.
Right? Does that make sense? Sometimes in terms of events, yes, preliminary things and planning is worse. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Seth wants to speak. Go ahead. Yeah.
Maybe not practically, but sure. But sure, I'll kind of agree with that.
Because now you're arguing that the intent of the problem is more adds more to it being bad than the physical effects of that. So if they were planning to do something like that, yes, it is bad. But if they kill 1 million persons in that, I mean, it is equally bad. So intent or the qualitative aspect of it is not like it doesn't have more value about it.
I just realized who she's debating. Holy shit! I didn't even fucking realize. She's debating the crazy guy from her chat. That was that I was talking to in her chat. Yeah. I've spoken to this person before. He is yeah. Wow. So what I said before about him like being pro-Israel, that is 100% true. Okay, because that's what we argued about in her chat. That's pretty nutty.
You were talking about,
that's pretty insane mode.
Yeah, he started.
He's debating her?
The project at the time was about going fast with the development of the
Yo, Doctor says, I'll debate you, bro. Let's go.
Start taking that.
I'll debate you about whatever the fuck you want. Whatever you want to debate about, man.
Okay. So, yes, Trump developed the vaccine and he made he speeded the process. But Biden was the one who closed the economy and was trying to get the vaccine on every single one. So, it's not like the same thing. So.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. I'm trying to understand what you.
Wait, no. Okay, I was wrong.
Okay.
Dr. Sess just came into this chat. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Doomer guy. That's the guy that she was debating. Dr. Sess is a different person. Yeah, my bad. When did Dr. Sess get in here? What is he doing here? Like, when did that happen? Did he come in here before and I just didn't notice? Yeah, he's been here for a while. Anyway.
Accelerating process of the vaccine development.
That's confusing.
Then Biden came in and he started giving the vaccine to every single person.
What a confusing way to structure a debate.
People,
that's crazy.
Two separate things. Trump made the vaccine, and Biden was the one who distributed. Okay? And now, about the other point.
I don't even think that's true. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's not. It's not true. What the fuck are we talking about? Trump didn't do anything with COVID, okay? He did nothing. I mean, Look, at the end of the day, he's just the fucking president, okay? They control the military, and pretty much everything else is just them yapping, okay? If it's not a military operation or, like, a piece of legislation, a bill, and those are usually sparingly passed, or a veto, which is also usually sparingly used. The president is just yapping. Okay, so when it comes to COVID, yeah, it's not like Trump fucking invented the vaccine. Okay, I don't really think that's what Dr. Sess was saying here. Okay, but you know that is what he said. Okay, he said, you know, Trump made the vaccine. Okay, but I don't think that's what he meant. But it is still like dumb to say, because like the fuck did Trump he didn't have anything to do with the fucking vaccine. What the fuck? It's not like Trump was like in the lab with the vaccine, like making it happen. Like, nah, they were doing that anyway. Okay, all Trump did was communicate with the public about it, and he did a shit job at it. He did a fucking god awful job. And Biden, by comparison, did a much infinitely better job at communicating. Okay, despite his fucking dementia. That's it. All right. Anyway, I'm not pausing.
I don't even think that's true. I don't even think that's true. Right? Didn't the rollout happen when Trump was still in office?
I was there. I was working for AstraZeneca.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'll Google it. Nah, I don't trust you. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, there was no vaccine when Trump left office. Okay, that's not what happened. And also, like, COVID hadn't gotten really bad yet. Like, it just hadn't. Okay, it was, by the end of 2020, if I recall correctly, like, we were full on in the pandemic, okay? It just hadn't hit its peak. Okay, like, it had started, but I believe the numbers, certainly, I don't remember specifically, but, like, I'm sure that they peaked under Biden. Surely. Okay, but anyway, it's not like the vaccine was done when Trump left office, okay? Like, I don't think it was. It's probably going through test trials, but I don't think it rolled out until... And I don't know. I'm not, like, an expert in this, and I don't really remember... because during that time, I was, like, 19, and I was drinking a lot. Don't drink underage, okay? I do not condone it. But it is what I was doing. And, like, legitimately, I really don't remember a lot from that time. Like, what they say is true about alcohol. Like, it will mess with your memory and your, consequently, your perception of time. But anyway, let's keep going. Underage drinking is wrong.
Do
not do it.
Warp speed. You're lying! You're just lying. Why? Why do you lie? Okay, hold on.
Read it out.
Hold on. Let me just read this. Yes, the initial COVID-19 vaccine rollout in the United States began under the Trump administration's Operation Warp Speed.
Damn, hey, my bad. I forgot that they finished it that fast. It really didn't take long. Damn. Yeah, they got that shit out fast. In May? It was in May. My God, I am so stupid, dude. I did not remember that. I don't even remember that happening. I don't think I was paying attention. Like, I don't even know if I knew about COVID, man. I'm just kidding. I didn't know. But yeah, I did not pay attention to this shit back then.
Yes, it began under
That's
the Trump
crazy.
administration. Why are you lying? Why are you attributing everything that you dislike about Trump to Biden? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
We're not tag teaming shops.
The initial approach with the vaccine was giving it to the population who was more exposed to COVID or who were likely to die from COVID. So it is different. We started giving it to all people and to people with disease, not to children.
And why is that relevant? And why is that relevant?
Okay.
I just want to, I just want to remind everyone. Hold on.
With the vaccine
Wait,
was when they started giving to every single one in the country.
Hold on. I don't even know why that's relevant. Because remember, do you remember what my original question was? Can you repeat my original question back to me?
It was primarily for the vulnerable in society. He's right about that. It was like the original rollout was for like children and the elderly. I'm pretty sure, like basically exclusively, or maybe entirely. Well, like children, the elderly, and the disabled. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Name something equally as bad.
January 6th or any one of Trump's crimes. Yes, that's correct. So how does the vaccine rolling out to the elderly have anything to do with naming something that was just as bad? Because as far as I'm concerned, the rolling...
Many people
started giving it to the elderly. Okay?
What?
It wasn't Biden. The first approach with the vaccine was fitting the development, and then started giving it to the people who were with disease or were older people, and that was on Trump. And then Biden came in, and he started giving it to every single one. Okay.
Okay. So what you're saying? Hold on. So you're saying, so what you're specifically saying is that Operation Warp Speed began under Trump, but then Biden's the one that continued most of it, right?
Yes, because the policy and the vaccination changed it with Biden.
Okay, you realize that even if I grant you that, that's not an answer to my question.
How people dying because
with Corona were under Biden approach, not Trump's one.
So forcing that vaccine on people and causing them to die or causing them to have permanent disabilities as a result of a vaccine that was the first batch is not as bad.
Are you talking about the heart problem?
Not just that, many people lost mobility. Many people have like breathing problems now as a result, which is ironically because the corona is supposed.
Okay.
I mean, the vaccine was supposed to protect you from the corona, which is a breathing disease.
Well, why are you saying this when Trump was the one that started Operation Warp Speed? That's
because
number one.
Biden continued it.
Because he continued it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sure that that everybody's breathing problems and shit would be like so much better if we never had a COVID vaccine, which was a virus that like decimated your body primarily by decimating your lungs, your breathing ability. Okay, yeah, I'm sure that like stopping the vaccine rollout would have helped with that. Dumbass. Look, people live with breathing problems as a result of COVID. Okay? Not the vaccine. I don't care how much you want to fucking twist it. The thing is, you can get COVID from the vaccine. Because like I said, it's a roll of the dice. Okay? When you take a vaccine, any vaccine at all, you can become sick. You can get sick from the vaccine. You can die from it, okay? It's like, it's serious. It's just, it is statistics. That's why we do it. That's why we do vaccines, because it does save lives. It does. It is a net positive overall. If you don't think that, then you are fucking stupid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's it.
He could have stopped it. He continued it.
Wait, but Trump was the one that started it. What are you talking about?
Biden continued it.
How is continuing? Okay, how's continuing Operation Warp Speed worse than starting it? What?
Let me explain it to you. Okay, when you.
How is it bad? How is the Operation Warp Speed bad? I mean, yeah. Look, Trump. Anything that. Look, call me a liberal. Call me woke. Call me a woke liberal. Anything that Trump does is probably done badly, okay? Let's be real. But, yeah, like, I think that an early rollout for these vaccines was a smart move. I think it was the best move. And the reason that Trump made that decision is probably because there were smarter people than him talking to him about it, okay? That's probably why. That's what I think anyway. But I'm a woke fucking liberal, okay? I'm a woke ass sissy liberal. That's what I am. So, what the fuck do I know? But anyway, continue. Continue, idiots. Continue speaking. Entertain me.
That was the initial approach that Trump did. Okay, that's the right approach to a contingency like that. Okay, and then Biden started giving the vaccine to every single one in the country. That's the fucking problem.
Wait, so, Babe sent me something. Hold on. Can I open this? Let me see. I'm gonna open what she sent me. Hopefully, it's not some weird shit.
Loki,
okay.
Foods. They're speaking about the COVID response under Biden. Yes, I know, Loki. Yes. Yeah. I understand what their argument is. Okay, Jesus.
I have to sign up to read this, Babe. I'm not going to sign up to. I'll send it to Shops. Maybe she can open it without having to sign up.
No. I don't have access to, you know, if you're talking about like research articles and such. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, okay, Shops, like, I don't want to keep this going because we're not going to go anywhere. Like, I just want to let you know, like, I am not a pro-wing or pro, like, I don't agree with their policies. Whether you believe they're equally bad or not, like, my point is, I don't agree with either or.
Hold on.
Guys, you don't get it. I'm a centrist. I'm a moderate. You don't get it. You don't get it. I don't like either. We know, man. We know. We don't like them either. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes the Democrats, okay? Like, just because you run defense for the Democratic Party doesn't necessarily mean that you like the Democratic Party, okay? It just doesn't. Like, yeah, I'll defend them. I will defend them. I'll even say, I'll take it one step further. I'll say that you should vote for them. You should vote. You probably, next election, you should vote for them. Definitely, in the next primary, you should vote for, in your local municipality, you should vote for the Democratic candidate. Okay, 99% likely that is what you should do. More than that. Okay, more than that. Like, vote for your local Democrat, okay? However, that doesn't mean that I like the party. And they're so much better than Republicans. Like, no. Nobody's fucking saying that. I'm not saying that. No leftist is saying that. And even Democrats aren't saying that. Nobody's fucking saying that. Stop saying that we're saying that. You're not special. You're not special. You're not special and unique because you don't like... Oh, I don't like both sides. None of us like both sides. I mean, we all hate both sides, okay? We all hate them. We all do. You're not like you're a fucking snowflake, okay? You're the liberal. You're the pretentious woke liberal. The fuck?
You can believe what you want. That's fine. You can believe what you want. But I guess, in my opinion, this conversation has cemented my beliefs. Cemented them. That you are right-wing. You and Seth are right-wing.
I'm right-wing, even though I criticize Trump.
Yeah, no shit. Seth is right-wing. What the fuck? What the fuck? That was ever up for a discussion? What? I had one conversation with the guy, and he said some of the most unhinged right-wing shit I've ever heard come out of anyone's fucking mouth. Okay, even like a DGGer. Like, he said some truly insane things about Israel. He said that I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. I shut him down, okay? I shouldn't have. I should have let him keep going. But he started trying to tell me about the Hitler guy, the Hitler Palestinian guy. For those of you that don't know, there was a Palestinian leader that he was in power. He was the leader of Palestine, historic Palestine. But during the Nazi regime, he was a Hitler collaborator. Okay, he was a Hitler collaborator. Okay, sounds pretty bad, right? You know, pretty bad thing. Doesn't look good for Palestinians, right? Except this guy, this leader, well, he was Palestinian. He was ethnically Palestinian, okay? He was really a Palestinian from Palestine. And, but the thing is, though, he was put in power by the British. Okay, literally. He was put there by the British. He became the leader of Palestine because the British were like, yeah, you're the leader. That's what happened. And yes, he went on to collaborate with Nazis. Okay, it was fucked up. It was bad. Okay, however, it's worth noting that he was not popular. He wasn't a popular leader in Palestine. People did not like him because, turns out, shockingly, there were lots of Jews in Palestine. Like these Palestinians back then, they were like, their leader was like, hey, like, you know, I hate Jews, like, they all need to be killed or whatever, like, I love Hitler. Okay, he said that. And then his constituents were like, the fuck do you mean? Like my neighbor's a Jew. My best friend is a Jew. You know, my friends are Jewish. Like, there was in historic Palestine, there was so much tolerance for Jews, for Christians, despite the population, the majority of the population being Muslim. Okay, Jews were free to travel throughout Palestine. They were considered equals. They were not second-class citizens. They just weren't, no matter how hard you want to make them out to be. Because Palestinians just were like very fucking epic people. They were like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, they were just really cool back then. Okay, now after years of occupation, the Palestinian population became more militant and more like, wanting of violence against their occupiers. And so now you have Hamas. That's it. That's what I think. But anyway, Dr. Sess is an insane person. He is actually crazy, and he's the one, by the way, that left a comment on my video. Left a comment. And he said that she wants to debate me. Foodshops wants to debate me. He said that. And I have yet to hear back from him. Although I am patiently awaiting. I believe it's this video. Nope. I thought it was. Maybe it was the one where I... Oh, wait, it is the one where I call... Yeah, okay, debate her. She is willing to do it today. Now, yesterday, I did not debate her, and I didn't the day before either. And it's because I didn't want to. And I didn't want to because of personal things going on in my life. I just didn't feel like having a debate. Okay, I talked about this on stream. My bad. I hope I didn't miss my opportunity to speak with her. But, you know, if I did, I'm sure that there will be other racist, fucking, Islamophobic, generally bigoted content creators that I can debate with. So it's not a huge loss, but... I would legitimately like to speak to her, if I can. But let's keep watching.
I don't care about how you define yourself. I literally do not care how you define yourself. But to me, at the very least, I define you as right wing. Okay, that's it.
I mean, you can define me as whatever you want. It does not mean I'm that. Like, if I was right wing,
that's okay. Then we'll just disagree on it. But you're absolutely right wing. Every point. Listen. It does not help.
It's not that important to categorize people like this. Okay, it's not. Okay, first of all, they're not receptive to it. Okay, it's not constructive. It's just like you trying to win an argument, trying to, own your opponent in the marketplace of ideas. And number one, I think it's cringe. Okay, that's firstly. I think it's a cringe thing to do. But also, it does nothing. It doesn't really make you look like it looks cringe. It doesn't look like you win when you do that, okay? And also, he's really, it's not so clear cut. Like, it's not just like, you can't just cut that out and be like, you cannot square this and set it aside, okay? Like, you can't just say he's right wing and that's it. Okay, yes, he has some right-wing perspectives. He does have some opinions that are, even in the context of American politics are, right-wing, right? But, also, it's not... it's not like he doesn't have some left-wing opinions in the context of American politics. Okay, he does. He said it at the beginning. He's pro-trans. He's pro-trans rights. I would like to ask him about the sports thing and see how pro-trans he is then, but whatever. I believe him. I think if you by simply saying you're a trans ally, I think that makes you like pretty much a trans ally, like for real. But yeah, and he said he's like pro-abortion. Okay, that's great. Like those are things that, but that's why it's not cut and dry to just be like, okay, well, you're right wing. And also, like, a person that doesn't see themselves as aligned with either political faction is going to, like, be like, okay, well, like, I'm right wing. I guess I need to change that. I guess what do you expect him to say to that? Okay, you're right. I'm right wing. Oh my gosh. Oh, I need to change. Oh, I must change my perspective. You just made me realize that I'm right wing. Like, nah, he's not. This is never gonna fucking happen.
It does not help when every single point that you and Cess have brought up in this conversation/debate is a right-wing talking point. Every single one of them is a right-wing talking point. Every single one.
No, not every single one. If you had a memory longer than that of a goldfish, you would remember that at the very beginning, he defended trans people, and he used that as a reasoning for being like, I'm not a Republican. I don't like what Republicans are saying because they are anti-trans. They are anti-LGBT, specifically on the D. Okay? They are like that. That's what they are. Okay? And that's why he says, I'm not like them. And yeah, I mean, that's it. So no, he's not.
I haven't missed one. Not a single one you guys missed. It's like not a right-wing talking point.
We are debating right now on the health science side of it.
I guess they have been making right-wing talking points for the last 30 minutes or more. So yeah, I guess I can't really blame her for saying that, but it is demonstrably untrue. Okay, from the in the context of American politics. This person Doomer guy has some left wing, some liberal sensibilities or whatever. Okay, yeah, I agree he's kind of right wing a little bit. I don't know about Republican, but yeah, I mean he's a right wing person. Sure.
Even for the World Health Organization, it was a bad approach. Okay? Right now they are even debating about it. Okay, it's not a right wing talking point.
Dr. Says, you literally said that the rollout happened under Biden.
I said, you can rewind on the screen and you can re-hear what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yes, it started under Trump and then Biden handed it.
But you didn't clarify that it started under Trump. You didn't clarify that it started under Trump. You didn't clarify that it started under Trump.
Why does this matter? What is the relevance here? It's not like that is a even if what she's saying is true, that he he denied the Trump rollout of the vaccine, how is that defense for Trump? That just makes him I'm not saying it was a particularly good rollout, but if you were to say that he did nothing, that looks way worse than doing something like a rollout. How is that I don't see it as defense.
You did not. You did not. Nope. You did not. Clip it. You clip it then. All right, clip it then. All right. I'm not gonna put that on you. Okay. I'm just gonna make a claim. That's it. Fuck it. I'm not responsible for your evidence.
Okay, Shops, can I just have my closing statement and then
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Bye, dogs. Was nice hearing you. Okay, Shops. Look, you believe I'm right wing. That's completely fine. You can believe whatever you want. At the end of the day, I don't support right wing views. I don't agree with them, and I've been part of a system that, to both of the administrations, I've been screwed over by Democrats and Republicans. So I will continue to see them as bad, not just for better ends, but for the people. And that being said, Like I don't hate you. I still enjoy your content. I will continue to watch your content, and I thank you for allowing me to at least double down on what I believe in, and but I will continue to hate both on the left and the right, and I will continue to be in your chat. Thank you for giving me the chance to retort, even though I wasn't able to convince you. I still stand on the fact that I hate both the left and the right, and that's it.
Okay.
That's a pretty normal thing to hear from a normie.
All right,
I think.
my chat. Wait, how do I close this? I don't even know how to use fucking Discord. I'm a boomer.
Dude, you realize this is why I think you're pushing 50, right? You were listening to the stream to debate with me.
I was debating because you came out and said I was right wing, and I'm like, excuse me, no, I'm not.
He's got to be like, he sounds like kind of dumb, like he's army maybe. He's probably army, so he's probably like 20, 29. He's pushing 30. I don't think he's pushing 50. I don't think he is. Well, then again, he is retired, so he's probably not in his 20s. Yeah, probably like mid-30s. Mid to late. He's pushing 40. That's okay.
I like talk. So.
Once you hit 30, you're pushing 40.
I had to kick him.
It's okay. It happens.
Bro, every
well, that was fun.
Every single thing that they have stated was right when talking about.
I pulled something. Ow. Damn.
It's just like...
Shit, I think I'm getting old.
How am I supposed to think that you're not a right-winger? Okay, whatever, man. I forget about it.
Ow.
Average Foodshops viewers? No, like, I'm pretty sure Cess and Dio are literally the...
I want to see her try to put me in a box. I want to see, like, where do you think I am on the political spectrum? Because I know where I think I am, okay? Am I, like, a far-right Nazi? Because I don't like Israel, because I don't like the Israeli regime. That's probably the only thing they'll get me on. Except they won't get me on that because, I'm a pretty proficient debater, and also I am like, I know how to separate the Jewish religion, Judaism, from the fascist ideology, Zionism, and I don't think they really know how to do that. But anyway, they won't get me on being anti-Semitic because I am too good at debating, and also I am not anti-Semitic. So even though the propaganda is pretty effective at convincing people that, like, if you're anti-Zionist, you're like a Jew-hating terrorist. I don't think they'll be able to do that to me. I'm built different. Alright, I'm too big-brained. Alright, I'm gonna let this keep playing. I gotta go pee.
Okay? Yeah. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying this is not the average Foodshops viewer, okay? Okay. Also, like, I can't believe I had to, like, correct them as well. Like, fuck. Like, fuck. Like, the fact that... Who is this? Hello?
Oh, me. Yeah, I thought I was playing away from my
Dude, where were you? But you realize both of them were Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making you look bad.
I was aware of Dr. Says being Mexican, and I don't know who the other person was. Dio, maybe?
Yeah, they're both Mexican,
I was in the shower, so I couldn't really jump in. So, just a quick question. What even happened there? Like, what was the recap? If you could say, like,
just rewind the stream. Just rewind the stream and just listen to the whole debate again.
Well, okay. So I saw what will happen at the start. I just wanted to know what your understanding of it was.
Oh,
like, was your argument this is what is bad or equally bad, or was his argument like they're equally bad? I'm lost on that. It didn't seem coherent enough.
The argument was equally bad, all right? But I think he changed the argument at the end to, oh, they're just both bad, which means nothing, right? Because the entire point is that whether or not they're equally bad, right?
Right. So I'm guessing you don't think they're equally bad, right?
No, dude. Honestly, because depending on like what mood I'm in, you can even say that I think that both are bad sometimes, right? Like if you were to even ask me about that, like if a Democratic politician stole one of my fucking favorite pencils or favorite pens, all right, then yeah, of course I'm gonna say, yeah, you know what, I'm feeling the Democrats are kind of bad today, okay? Because this one Democratic politician stole one of my pens, okay? But obviously that's not the same as like Republicans not having a healthcare plan and then threatening to defund Medicare, right? Obviously not. These are not the fucking same, obviously, right? Like fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. So, do you ever ask if they had like a criteria for what they think is bad? Like it sounded to me like they were trying.
Yeah,
to,
which
you
is yeah, which
target
is
the
no, hold
other.
on. Yeah, this is why I was asking the magnitude question, right? This is why I'm asking, hey, by the way, can you name one thing that was equally as bad as January 6th or any of the crimes that Donald Trump was convicted of, right? And they couldn't come up with one. That's it. They couldn't come up with one.
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't
Yeah.
even have to like go super deep on it. I was just confused. Like, if you're going to say
Ask
somebody,
them. Ask them. Okay, I don't know why you're asking me. Okay, ask them. Okay, I'm as confused as you are. Okay, that's it.
how about I ask you this? When you're trying to define if a president is doing well,
Mhm.
are you looking at their leadership? Are you looking at their policy, crisis management, finances, like economic performance, like international relationships, like, or is it like everything and just give like an overall
Everything.
average?
Like I'm guessing
Okay.
everything. Yeah, I'm guessing everything. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe this is me. Like I don't necessarily look at everything, but that's more because I do finances, so I'm more familiar with that field. So like if you were to ask me, I would say Biden did better than Trump, at least so far in the economy.
Okay. I mean, don't tell
Um,
me, right? Tell them. Like, fuck it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know about the whole
You're
vaccine
preaching to
thing
the
or
choir
whatnot.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think with you and me, I agree. I just came in here to express. I'm really sorry that sounded really frustrating because it sounded like I'm trying
Wait,
to.
what? Okay, you don't need to
Trump
just. Okay, stop. I don't need sympathy. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, a fucking FA would say that shit, but, yeah, like, what Trump has done with the economy is objectively terrible. I don't give a fuck if inflation is down. I don't give a fuck. It could go down more, but it won't. Okay, like, what I'm saying is that the president doesn't even have to fucking think about it, really. Like, I think they do need to cut a deal to get inflation down. I think they have to meet up with their corporate overlords. I gotta come up with a different word for that. I don't like saying master. I don't like saying corporate master. It harkens back to chattel slavery. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the president need to, like, it's not, you don't have to be smart to make inflation go down, okay? We don't need to elect the smartest president to make inflation go down. They can make it go down, okay? They can just choose to make it happen, okay? But, like, it has to be in line with the agenda of the party, which of course is tied to what lobbyists want, and lobbyists want what's good for their shareholders. Blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, it's not like an intelligent structure of economy that makes the inflation go down. It's not like big brain Trump making inflation go down, okay? Like, he's doing, like, this is, he probably cut a deal, and he's doing this because he's hoping that he can keep inflation down year over year and then get reelected again and serve a third term. I think that's his goal right now. I don't know. I want to say that it's not going to work, but at the same time, like, I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think he'd get reelected this time. But I couldn't have expected the Kamala campaign to be so spectacularly terrible. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see that coming. Okay, I thought it would be mid. I thought it would be a mid campaign. I thought a mid campaign would have been enough to beat him. But it was so bad that, like, they just couldn't. Okay, it was rushed. Number one, it was rushed. Number two, it was just terrible. There were just so many bad decisions. On Kamala. It is on Kamala, okay? It is her fucking fault. I'm not voting for her again. I'm not doing that shit. If she runs again, if she's the candidate, fuck you. And fuck this country. If she runs again. I'm not fucking voting for her. Unless she completely 180s on 3 or 4 issues. I can't remember. Yeah, I think like 3. Okay, there's Israel, there's immigration, like I want a carceral reform, and defund the police. We don't want stronger police, stronger military, and we don't want stronger borders, and yeah, that's what I want. Okay, and we don't want to fund Israel. So if she runs back those things, then there we go. I'll fucking vote for her then. But that's not going to happen, and she probably won't be the candidate. God, I fucking hope not. God damn. I don't think she will. Usually, we don't pick the losers, okay? We're not like Republicans. Trump fucking lost, but they still picked him. It's crazy to me. It's a crazy thing.
Fine. Okay. Like, what the
But
fuck?
oh well.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Well, see ya.
Cult of
My ringleader.
personality. It's
Okay,
a crazy
alright,
thing.
Bye.
So I saw Mexican. I think Dr. Says has the most Mexican accent out of all the Mexicans. All right. This is why sometimes I have a little bit of trouble. Okay. Nothing racist. Okay. I'm just not good at hearing accents or interpreting what people are saying through accents. I'm not good at it.
It's a skill.
Foodshops,
You have to develop it.
Oh. Is the assumption that if Foods points out Trump is worse than Biden, then they'll automatically go to Dem side? He doesn't sound Mexican at all. What are you talking
Jittery
about?
right
What?
now.
No, he does. What? He has a really thick accent.
Okay. Moving on. I want to check. I might not react to another video. If America, why Nazi Germany shape? I don't know. I don't know, Hassan. That's kind of weird. Oh yeah, Nux. Let's see here. So I had an interesting conversation with my brother last night about Nuxanor, aka Nux Taku, which I had no idea about this channel, but check this out, chat. Check this out. Turns out this Nuxanor person is actually a cartoon watcher, a cartoon watching content creator, and he has been for years. Okay, he's been doing this for years. But the political stuff only started more recently. Wait, hold on, my bad. Nuxtaku. Okay, this is Nuxtaku. This is Nuxanor. As you can see, the structure of the channel is similar. For some reason, he doesn't have a default video. I like to have a default video on my channel, me personally. But anyway, when did he start posting to this account? I don't know. I kind of want to find out. Like, I want to take a look. So we got 2 months, 3 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5, 6, 7. Whoa. Oh. Interesting. So for a while, he was doing a mix of drama, Mr. Beast content, other various content creators. Shoe on Head? Why talk about Shoe on Head? First of all, she has no motion. She has no, she has some relevance, I guess. But, she's just not really doing much. I know I'm one to talk. I've been watching fucking Foodshops, and she's, a very small content creator. But, I don't know. Foodshops is interesting. To me. Anyway, maybe not to anyone else, but, I like her content. But Shoe on Head? Why are people making videos about Shoe on Head? I don't even understand why Foodshops does it. Why? I was like, why the fuck did you make this? Okay, anyway, so it looks like, he made some Asmongold videos, he made some Mr. Beast videos, some random bullshit, a bunch of cartoons. So, I guess this channel started, and I haven't gone back to the first video that was posted on this channel, but I guess this video started probably a year or two ago, and it was for his, for probably some of his cut content that, he didn't want to post on main, and then also drama. Okay, so he wanted to start making drama slop, and he wanted to see how that would do. And it looks like it went pretty successfully because some of these videos have 200, 300K, and this was this was his second channel. This was a smaller channel. Okay, but he had some breakout hits. But let's see when the shift was to complete, because now this channel is just politics. That's all he does. It's just Trump glazing politics. Here we go. So Trump, here we go. Trump and Asman. Okay, goddamn. I'm glad he stopped using this thumbnail. That shit sucks. Like the same thing every time. I don't like it when you. I know I've been doing it. Okay, but I just started uploading. I like just started doing that. So like, yeah, my thumbnails are like kind of shit, but I feel like I did a pretty good job. Okay, I like my thumbnails.